Hello everyone. Hi, hello, good morning, evening, afternoon. What's going on? We're new Banlist a little bit. Let me pop over to my face just a small touch. I got my old streaming setup. I literally just rolled out of bed. I got a message. I was like, hey, Swole, you streaming? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can. They're popping in with the goobers here in just a second. We have a new Banlist out for Elestrals here in just un momento in about 10 minutes. So we're a little bit late to the party on this one, but that's quite alright with me. Let me get started and good to go. Hello everyone, good to see you. Hopefully you're good to go and ready yourself. Go Stark, what's going on? What's going on, Bradman? Hello, good to see you. Sure, my man, what's going on? Hello. Woke up early for this? You're telling me. I hope Maxi goes to 1-2, honestly. That's actually one of my biggest fears in the Elestrals format right now is maximum C. Maximum C for sure. All right. Yeah, let me jump into them. Jumping in now. Meow. As you can tell, I was super prepared for this morning. Hello.
Pass.
Hello.
And then when you use the trap, you can just summon out Finmel or the Owl for whichever one you want to do, either a board wipe or a full board Forbidden Droplet. So they have 2 dead nibs, the dead card they took off you, and then 3 cards in hand to beat an Omni Negate, a full board Negate, and an MST. Good luck.
And what's up, y'all?
Hi, Swellex. How you doing?
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Is it time?
I think it is. We're
getting close to it for sure.
Yeah, we're live right now. We're edging the time for the ban list. I'm getting the.
Oh, we're live.
We're live right now. Yeah.
We're live right now. Can they hear me? Oh my god.
I think so. Let me know if y'all can hear. Y'all can hear our goobers. Hello. I'm getting the.
Hello, chat. I'm here.
No way.
Oh, I just opened up the stream. They can definitely hear us. Yeah. Yeah.
Tight. All right.
Wait, you just like joined into this VC, not knowing what we were talking about live on stream. Bro is like, yeah, they won't be saying anything bad. Surely, there's no way.
It could have been. I was just hoping. Honestly, I was just hoping that it was nothing terrible.
You could have joined, and I would have been telling Caleb, bro, like I don't know, man. You know, I fucking know. It's been weird as hell. What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
So then it was then that they hit the second tower, right?
No.
Oh god. Oh, here, let me change up my reactive because that's my
Oh my god, Rex.
My little Rex guy. That's the goat.
Oh no, that's Rex and my favorite Elestrals caster. Oh god, I also gotta do the chat thing. You know, it's been a while since I've hopped into this. These aren't even these scenes aren't even set up.
It's okay. It's fine. We only have a ban list every like 6 months.
Yeah, I know, right?
6 months since the last one.
Has it been 6 months?
Well, the last real one, right? Because we had the E list that changed basically nothing.
Oh god. It changed solar.
I guess, yeah.
Solar was awesome.
Yeah, and then we had Chariot
So
as
the
well,
deck
which
that
was a
still
big
has
change. We
Optimum.
appreciate the Chariot ban. XD, that's Pog.
Chariot was good. What was it? It was just Chariot, Hurricane, Rise was our last one.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
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 What we got the emojis. The frog, snowflake, lion, race car, cat, wolf, bat.
So
Don't
I
think this
had
is.
I had a guess as to what this is. Do I think this is accurate? No. Like, obviously, it's not. A-Drive has been memeing with them as of late, but I think that the frog. So the frog and the frost, I think, represent Tadpole, Tadflow, or Tadpuff, Tadflow. I think the lion represents Celestlio, obviously, which I don't think really needs a hit, but whatever. The car is Race to the Top. The cat, hot take, is Equalinks. That's what the cat is.
Okay.
Which would be
He
Equalinks
didn't say
to
PK
3.
was gonna be very happy about today's list, so
It should be Equalinks to 3. And then the wolf and the bat are lichen and bat form. That's what those represent. That's what he's baiting with, I suppose. So if I had to
Oh.
guess what the bait list that A-Drive is baiting here with the emotes, I would say it's Tadpuff, Tadflow, each to 1, or banned, but they don't ban cards in this game, so each to 1. I would say the lion is Celestlio to like 1, maybe ban. Neither of those make a whole lot of sense to me, but sure. The car is Race to the Top to 3, obviously. And like we've been saying for the last like 19 ban lists, that Race to the Top can come back. And then I think that the cat Equalinks to 3 is actually a reasonable one. I think Equalinks to 3 would give Earth the oomph that it needs to compete. And then Lichen Bat, if you ask me, bro, I think the hit is to put both of them to 1. But yeah.
and that'd be kind of crazy, especially when the more frost stuff is the fair part of the deck. But that's just me.
I agree. Well, I think they should probably hit the Iwooly, bro. That card is
Yeah, it would make me very sad, but I agree that
I
is
kinda-
probably what they should do if they're
I don't
gonna.
know if they should
they're
hit
gonna hit
that.
any of that.
They gotta hit the
They
second
should
tower.
ban Blizzstrix. That solves it, but they don't want to. No one wants to hear that.
Blizzy Wizzy.
I agree in the
I have a-
Blizzard's one for sure. It's weird because like I think initially I thought Asprowl was kind of the problem. Or maybe they just do hit Asprowl and they go for Blizzstrix stuff and
Probably
make a new
is
Blizzstrix
the
thing.
correct hit for Blizz. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Bro,
ban
hit Asprowl, no problem, bro. I'll play 3 Blizz and just hard ascend that shit, bro. Iwooly champ just puts
Kinda.
19 guys on board.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is if you hit Blizz, then you can just play 7's Turbo with Asprowl. Like the
Yeah,
deck
but like,
just
isn't that
Which is
already
arguably
is that not
stronger.
already Cryovern? It's Cryovern, right?
Well,
yeah, but like,
yeah.
yeah, I agree. We should let's hit Cryvern too. Shit.
Okay, can we talk about what we don't want to see on this list? So someone in chat pointed out that the lion could be Kindleo, and I think if they put Kindleo to
Ooh.
anything above 1, I'm crashing out. I'm gonna be so dead ass. That's the crash out.
Valid.
No, it's Leo Bright or Leo Knight, right? It's the fire deck that's been popping off recently.
Yeah, let's ban Leonite. I mean, hold on. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's
I have,
for
I have
sure.
a real quick side here. What do we think about the emoji bait lists? Because they piss me off whenever I see them.
I like him.
I mean,
I
the,
see one of
the
these
thing is,
and
the
I get
first
so
one that he
angry.
did, the first one that he did was accurate, right? It was correct.
Yeah, it was because no one knew that that's what was coming up, right?
And then every following one wasn't.
Exactly, and it's just I think it's almost more frustrating to have the emoji baiting what could be, because then it's like you're setting people up to get disappointed when it's not the things that you alluded to. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of them.
I think I agree if the ban lists continue to be nothing burgers. Like, I hate that they're like, here are all these things that we know you guys want hit, but yeah, here's 2 hits. Have fun. Go
French
ahead.
Canadian talking like explain the ban list. Imagine a burger. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Bars, no, that's bars, that's bars, that's bars.
Wow. Imagine a burger, but it's a
Imagine a
ban list, but
burger.
it's a burger.
Here's how to reform y'all's
I should've
healthcare
got some
system.
more.
Imagine a burger. Yeah, I don't know. This ban list is weird. So if there's only like small things to tune here, but those small things to me are so impactful. And that's like, I think part of it is just that it's kind of a weird case of like either you can take away a bunch of things and that's the way to go, or you hit like some major players and just see what happens. But those major players like have to go. Like not non-negotiably, I guess I should say. Like Tadpuff, it's like if Tadpuff goes to 1, for example, that hits the deck in certain ways. But if it's banned, it's like that's probably just ideal. Like why leave it at 1 when just ban it outright?
Especially because it's searchable. Like
yeah, exactly.
That's what frustrates me about the idea of it being go to 1 is you can just still search it, and like I guess it's fine because you're not randomly drawing into it and then doing multiple turns of follow-up lock combo.
Yeah.
So like I think that there's an argument to like putting it to 1 and that being acceptable, but also like it is still searchable, and so that needs to be a consideration. So if the idea is, well, you put it to 1 to make it less consistent or something like that, that is not changing anything about the deck. You still get 2 turns of turboing into Lockagon.
Yeah, and that's... I think that Lockagon is so funny to me in that way because it's one of the only decks, not necessarily only decks, but only decks post Banlist that you can just kind of tank damage until you get your combo. And it's like, okay, we see it all the time where it's like, okay, now's the lock turn. This is the Lockgun turn. This is the Tadpuff turn. And no other deck really has that, which is both neat, but also very frustrating because every other deck has to just play like, can I get a Gorgons or kill this Lockagon before they can just annihilate me at any point in time. So it's that's pretty rough. But Morphrost is the other one I know people like really have a target on.
Wait, no, hold up. I have crazy thoughts about Lockagon. Give me a sec.
Oh, go for it.
About Lockagon here.
Yeah.
I think, call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I think they shouldn't hit lock. Instead, they should just ban Julian. Thoughts?
That is true. That is true. That is. I agree. This has always been the case. This has always been the case. He is the problem. Who else is doing it like Julian?
Stupid take. This goes crazy. Oh god.
What's up, casters? We are here with a brand new player updated list.
What is it? Do y'all hear this?
You know who would have loved iWooly? You know who would have loved iWooly?
It is. I was like, what am I hearing? It was an ad from the premiere thing.
You gotta. Are you screenshotting it to us?
Not yet. Hold on. Let me pop over.
Get the screenshot to us. 2 minutes. Let's go.
All right. Let me turn off the music too. There's like an ad for a McDonald's snack wrap, and I was like, what is that? What are y'all playing? Are y'all punking me?
No, the only thing I'm playing right now is Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Oh, peak. Let's go.
But I'm gonna say it, man. This list better fucking be good, bro.
There's been some interesting posts on Twitter related to that.
Russell, did you do the 2x speed thing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 2x speed that shit so that we can enter the future.
I like just the left and right arrows for that.
No, we're gonna go to the future, bro.
I was gonna say, how far are we
live,
going?
ladies and gentlemen? We are live. God, yes. All right, chat. It's time.
Oh my god.
This better be fucking good, man. Better be fucking good.
All right. Let's see.
Hey casters.
Hey
Today
Dan.
we're excited to share and integrate some new updates to the current Elestrals trading card game.
Cool.
All right.
As promised
Make it
in our
good, bro.
most recent restriction update video, we're back with our final changes to the TCG for this
Eruption
year
to 6,
and
let's
the current
go.
format. The live stream format has been full
No way.
of initiative, and we're
Yeah,
very
slow
happy
down.
Oh my God,
with
who's
the
that?
development
Wait a minute.
towards creating fun game
Are we gonna see?
states
Are we gonna see
and
Caleb
unleashing
kicking ass
powerful
on
threats. New
Morphos?
deck lists, strategies, and archetypes are created every week, and we're always looking out to see what the
Vince
next
Harbor
big innovation
mentioned.
will be. The Elestrals trading card game is more fun when each player
Here.
can do the
That's
things
here.
that their
Mentioned.
deck and strategy want to do. and the livestream format has consistently shown new ways for players to do so across different elements and playstyles. We evaluate strategies around 3 key strengths: speed, consistency, and resilience. It's okay for decks to be good at some of these, but not all of them at once.
True.
When strategies become too dominant and prevent decks from flourishing, that's when we need to take action. It's important to note that no ban or restriction is considered permanent, and with the release of each new set, we'll continue to monitor and review our ban list and evaluate whether any changes are needed. Today, I'm excited to announce some new card limits to the game, as well as some card unlimits to shake things up. All changes
Race mentioned.
29th,
Race
2025, ahead of our first online
We're gonna get
tournament
Sorry,
of the new
never mind.
year on January 3rd. Now, let's take a look at all of the cards.
Incredible
that we'll be
cut, by
limiting
the
to one copy in the upcoming format. The first card we're limiting
Going
to
to
one
one.
is Morphrost Bat Form.
Okay.
Let's
Morphrost
go.
has become
Okay,
a-
that's
I
good.
was right.
That's
Let's
good.
go.
We like this.
With the new edition of
I better
Morphrost
not
We
see
like
another
this.
Morphrost
We
hit.
like this.
Paired
Anything
with
more than
Morphrost
this
Bat
is
Form,
too
it
much.
becomes a very resilient deck. That's tough to
Yeah,
keep
we
up
like
with.
Bat to 1.
Therefore,
Big
by
fan of
limiting
Bat to
Bat
1.
Form to 1 copy, we
have
encourage
to
players
use
to invest
Keone,
more
yeah.
in their Divine Rune, Keone.
Correct.
To offer Morphrost
Ah.
and limit the deck's ability to
I spent like an hour
establish
talking about this with
consistent
y'all. I
board
was so right.
repeatedly. Next
Yeah,
on
that's
the
the
hit
correct
to
way to
one
do this.
copy
I agree.
is Tadpuff. Over the
Oh.
past
Let's
few
go.
years, we've seen the
Okay,
powerful and
okay,
dominant
we like
strategy
one
of
Tadpuff.
Bakugan slowly taking
I'd
over the
rather
live
be
stream
banned,
meta.
but we'll take one.
We've
I got
really
thoughts on
tested
that, but
game
yeah.
plan and consistency. However,
Like,
it's a bit
fuck
too
this
fast
little
in our current format.
Goober, man.
It's okay
Hey,
for
this
Aphrodite
made
to serve
Zephrog
as a
back in
strong
the day.
engine once online, but
True.
Tadpuff applies the pressure that Locagon presents a bit
This thing
too
evolves
quickly
into
and a
Zephrog,
bit
bro.
too repeatedly. By limiting Tadpuff,
That's true. This is a wait. This is a Tadpuff
players
limit.
will
Wait a
still
minute.
be able to unleash their Locagon strategies.
Take it back.
However, they will require a bit more care, ultimately allowing other
hit
decks a
Zephrog,
bit more
bro.
room to
What am
breathe.
I go do?
Also joining Tadpuff is its Frost Nexus form, Tadflow.
Okay,
Zephrog.
let's go. Do we like this? We appreciate this. God, yes.
Yeah, probably necessary.
When paired with Tadflow, as it helps cast a surprise eye willy.
Okay,
which
okay,
leads to a
hey,
potential
I
full board
respect
to
it.
face.
I respect
this
it.
Deck and
I fuck
strategy
with
can
this.
be quite swingy.
It's
Oh,
really
no.
funny
Therefore,
to have
limit
it
on
with
Tadflow
eye
will
woolly
help
and
keep
not
this experience from becoming too
Aspral
boring for
because
players. That's it for
Tadflow
our
is
limits
terrible in the
this
eye
new
woolly deck.
restriction update. Now let's take a look at some unlimits.
Final
The first card we
limits.
are removing from our
Please
limit
ban
list is
something.
Race to the Top. This card was one of our first
Okay,
winners
please
in
ban
2024
something.
and has
Like,
remained
I
at
want
one for deck
something
6.
banned.
Even with
Yes!
the growing popularity of Thunder
Let's
as a
go!
well as Thunder has struggled to keep up and remain relevant in the
We're
current
back!
mainstream meta.
We're so
By
back!
removing this limit, we hope to see
All
players
of this we
experiment
knew
more
was
with
gonna
the Thunder
happen.
element
Like,
and
we knew
regain
this
the
was gonna
ability to spin
happen.
the game state back in
As
their favor.
was
Now,
foretold.
finally being removed from the limit list is none other than Equalings.
This.
A year ago,
Oh!
Let's
Let's go!
No, what? No!
That's my goal. Okay, I'm
It's
so
not
back.
time.
The game is good again.
It's not
The game is
time.
good again. The game is good. I'm so in, bro.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
I'm playing Earth for the rest of my life.
This
This is the greatest unlimit they possibly could have done. I'm so on board with this.
Oh, shit! Zero, where you at? No way.
No, okay, no,
No, wait,
this
wait,
is
wait, wait,
stupid.
wait.
This is stupid. This is stupid. What are they doing? This is so bad. This is so bad.
It's in line. Unfortunately, it is very much in line. Like if they have to
No,
equal
bro,
links, they have to do
like
something.
Alestral removal is so much more premium than back for removal in the game right now. That's crazy.
It gives the Brewlock
That
deck.
is insane.
However, we have one
Oh.
more change that we would like to make.
Okay.
One that we
A
can
ban.
no longer avoid. For the first time ever, we are opening the gates and releasing a card that was sent to Tartarus. Like a Void Champion.
Let's
Tartarus.
go!
This was heavily
That's not
discussed
surprising
bans
at all.
earlier this
Let's
year.
go!
When the card was initially released in Divine
Yeah.
Champions Firestorm, alongside a wide
They could've
variety
just
of existing support,
hemp banned it
this
in the
Like a
first
Void
place.
proved to be too powerful for the meta at the time. Ultimately,
Shout outs,
leading to
Andrew.
the
Let's
ban.
go.
I don't know about
Lunar,
this.
lunar,
Later released
lunar.
an Escape from Tartarus title variant with a new effect.
I don't know
on our
about this,
starter deck
bro.
From Livestream. We're very happy with the decision we made at the time. However,
Hey,
we
look,
believe
you
it's
now can
time
play
for
both
Like
an
a Void
original
Champion
and an
Artemis
Escape
to
from
make its
Tartarus
return.
one.
With Livestream's increased focus on synergy
And an
Like a
OG.
Void's ability is
9
less
copies of
concern.
Like a Void.
9 like a void deck.
Winston's gonna go crazy with this shit, dude.
Like, I guess my
The Escape from
question
Tartarus
here,
variant of the
right?
card will continue to be legal for the foreseeable future. We expect these
My-
adjustments to be our final balance
I have a
changes
question
ahead of the
here. I have a
Sunstrike
very
format.
important question.
However, we'll
Like,
continue to evaluate the format
was
over the
the
coming months,
answer
and
to
we'll
the
provide an
game
update on any
speeding
changes
up
we
to
believe
just
are required
unban
after
another
our final
fast
Premier
as fuck
tournament in
card?
February. ahead of our 2026 World Championships.
Yes, unfortunately.
We're excited to see what new
That's
decks
so.
emerge and how
I'm
current
sorry.
strategies
Wait, is
evolve.
that
I'm
it?
gonna
Games
say
go
it.
live on December 29th.
Yeah, that's it.
Ahead of our
I'm
January
gonna
3rd
say
online
it the only
premiere
way that I can
That
think to
concludes
say
our
it.
final restriction
That
update
is
for
stupid as
2025.
fuck.
Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of
Unbanning the Lycovoid
wish you a
is
happy
stupid
holiday and
as
wonderful new
fuck.
development in February.
The whole time we're out here saying the game is too fast, it has sped up too much, we need to dial it back, and their response is to unban a card
That's-
that is fast as
Too
fuck.
fast.
But that,
That's so stupid.
a little
It's also even
little
more
small thing
fraud.
on that though. That's not what they said. They didn't say anything about that. They said that they're okay. Like there are three things they look at: the speed, resilience, or whatever. Is that they're okay with some decks being
Yeah.
fast, but like that.
No,
that's
I'm
fine.
not talking about what they're saying. I'm not talking about what they're saying.
Oh, you're talking like the community?
Because the community
Oh,
understands
well,
the game.
Yeah.
The community is saying that the game has sped up to an insane level. You know, like Locagon is fast as fuck. You know, the solar deck is fast. All these decks are fast as fuck. And then like a Void Champ, bro, this card is so fast. And now with the bigger thing too, not only is it so fast, it is faster than it was.
Yeah.
Because now you go wear pup, and then you can add a thing you can insta cast to make this and summon 2 more guys, or 3 even if you're playing the other little guy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That is Delulu.
This is definitely an end Titan buff. I don't know. So like, okay. So let's go by. We'll come back to Lycoris form.
Yeah,
First bat. Let's talk bat.
this is correct. That's the correct hit.
Yeah. They did
Yeah.
not need to do more than this.
It's funny because I know that Lycan is the consistency hit and might. I'm gonna put an asterisk out here. That might prove to be the better choice later on as the game gets like more frost, but like
More frost.
more frost.
Mhm.
But the big thing is this, again, mentioned in the Banlist video. We just need to make these players commit to actually doing this. And if they have a Kion, they have a Kione. That might feel bad later. I don't know. Tadpuff, Tadflow?
These are correct. I would have
Yeah.
liked to see them banned. Putting them to 1 just means it's Saki. And the Elestrals team will learn at some point that Saki one-ofs are things people dislike. But that day is not today. And it is what it is, I guess. But one day they'll learn. Like, you're better off banning cards. They're so averse to banning cards. They need to accept that sometimes if a card is too broken, making it do the broken thing less often doesn't mean that it's not gonna do the broken thing. And when they do the broken thing with a card that's at 1, it feels worse. Like, they're not taking into account the player experience. You know, getting Earthquaked when it's at 3 feels better than getting Earthquaked when it's at 1. Because when you get Earthquaked when it's at 1, it's like, fuck, I lost to the Saki 1-up. I got Resting when it's at 1, I lost to the 1-up. Oh, he had the Tadpuff XD. Like, that's insane. Codsfish in the chat saying Tadpuff is in no way broken. You're a dumbass. Like, read the fucking card. I'm sorry, bro.
Tadpuff
Straight
is
up.
Tadpuff is
Straight up.
is weird because I would have preferred to ban
Insane.
myself because like I okay. This is a correct hit for consistency and the resilience portion. I get that. It's still not a great. It's still not, I think, great at 1 because of the reasons that's like, okay, it's the now you can just pop off the combo pretty much whenever. But once you get that combo once and you clear the lock board, which is not hard, like it's not hard to clear a lock board nowadays. You don't have to worry about Tadpuff doing it again. Like they invest the spirits, they invest the board, you clear the board, and now they can't do it again is super nice.
Well, so
Yeah,
I
but, like,
agree.
you just-
I
now
agree
you
if
don't
they
use Tadpuff
lead.
to start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was saying I agree if it's the lead Tadpuff. But what I don't like is, like, because the thing is, what I've said about Locka, I've always said this about Lockagon, is that every guy they stick to the board is a must out, because if you don't out it, you get lock comboed next turn. So they stick a guy, they use whatever counter rune, because every counter rune prevents their guy from dying. They use whatever counter runes they need to make their guy live. They do lock combo. You then invest heavily to out the lock board. Then they go, bet, Tadpuff lock, you're dead. Like, GG's.
Yeah, my only thing is that I don't think it's that hard to out the lock board. Like I think we're more, as far as what I've seen and from playing against lock and most players, I think people are just really well equipped now at when to hit, what to hit, and I've seen lock board be broken like no problem. For me, it's always been the issue of doing it again and then being like, oh, okay, now I have to deal with the same problem, but now my deck doesn't have the resources that lock does have again, right? So like lock's still powerful, that's probably still fine. It's just that like every other deck gets raised by this because they have a better time matching a one-time like push like that.
I think the thing with Tadpuff that I dislike, right, is that if they do the Dratagua thing, right, you go Dratagua, you can search the Tadpuff. If your Dratagua lives, then you do lock stuff, and your opponent knows you have the Tadpuff too. So it's like you can set up a position with like this just means that Dratagua is the best starter play or whatever, because with Dratagua you can get access to Tadpuff and lock. And then you get to do that, and then you have the Tadpuff ready to go on the next turn if they crack your board ever. Like, you just get access to this. Like, it's searchable, so it's still able to be done consistently.
Yeah, it's just like I think it probably is
the
a different
ability to make
consistency.
this play is the problem. I think it shouldn't be a play you can make. You shouldn't be able to fully circumvent, like, they said they want to reduce the speed of the deck. Reduce the speed of the deck is tell players that they have to use 2 turns to summon Lockagon, dude.
You know, I don't think that this impacts any of the 3 metrics that they mentioned.
Yeah.
I guess it minorly decreases like repeatability, but repeatability isn't resilience. Resilience is sticking around, right? So I don't think that this impacts resilience. This definitely does not impact speed because you can still do it. Like you can still do the thing, and consistency is not changed because you can still search the thing as well.
No, I think okay. I might be stretching here
because this is not a consistency hit. It's a hit to how consistently you get to like apply the speed, because the deck is always fast, so it's already fast. So you didn't hit the consistency of the deck. You hit how consistently it gets to be much faster than it already is.
Yes, so it's that, but like that because that's the big one, right? It hits that comparatively to the other levels at the speed of other decks, right? And I think that's the point of this hit. It's not necessarily, in a lot of ways, I don't necessarily see this as a lock hit. I see this as a buff to other decks. And that's maybe like the other way I'm thinking about it, because it's like the speed of the deck is what it is. Like you have the fish, you have like, again, the Trataguas, you can get to this just as fast, and I think they're fine with that. Like this limit is saying they're okay with that. But for me, I think it's the consistency of doing it more than once, and then also that resiliency of being able to have that broken and then do it again, which no other deck has. Every other deck in the game has a one-time big push, and then maybe you have the resources to do a second push. But Lockagon can do that 3 times.
I think the exception is Solar. Solar absolutely has every single push in the game.
It does, but it's more
not
committal.
the same scale of Lockagon, but like
yeah. Like
you just play 3 Nova Core and boom, you have an equivalent kind of push every turn.
Yeah, see but I agree with you. Difference for I think Solar is that it's more commitment. Like if you're talking about the Lion deck, you have to now, you can't just wait for the rise.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about
but
that.
Even Nova Core, you have to have the pieces, and you just go your Lavalith Solar. Like I agree with that. It's a little bit like strong. But the normal cast waste is pretty big, and you're only dealing with the one Elestral half the time with the Nova Core. Like, because if you're already,
that's what
hard.
Lockagon does 90% of the time as well. Unless you have Ambro in hand, you're only dealing with one Elestral.
I think that's
or back row.
So if I had to rate the strength of either of those, I think the Lockagon board is stronger though. Like the commitment to Lockagon.
But you can just normal summon a Nova Core every turn. You cannot normal summon a Lockagon every turn after you've had the champ one taken out.
I think from what we've seen, you can. Like historically you can. Like you break the board, they go Aphrodite champ afterwards, you probably already searched the other one. Like the play pattern for this doesn't really change. Like I agree with that. Like you're not playing super different with Lock, but
You're not playing differently at all. You're just casting out.
Yeah, you're just doing it a
guys
little
specifically
less.
less often.
Yeah,
I
think
think
that's
a big
fine.
thing. I think something that would make me feel okay with this, and this is like a little bit of a tangent, but I think that alongside this ban list, they should have reworked the way the interaction with Gorgon's Gaze works with this. So like if I go, let's say I go Peliquarius, search Tadpuff, pass. My Peliquarius lives. I then go Tadpuff. If you Gorgon's Gaze my Tadpuff, I can, with the current rules, ascend over the Peliquarius and siphon off the Tadpuff for a lock champ and just dodge the Gorgon's Gaze entirely. I think that they should rework that so that any spirits that you use as part of an ascension count as ascending that Elestral or something like that. Genuinely, that shouldn't be a thing. You should be allowed to Gorgon's Gaze a Tadpuff and not like get fucking
Like a
punished
turbo
for it.
punished by it. Yeah.
Like you should be allowed to slow the game down with something like that. You should. You just should be.
Yeah, I think that's like worth exploring on a level. I do just generally like the gameplay mechanic allowing like that to me that's a hit to skill expression, but that's also maybe just like a philosophy thing. Like so I don't disagree, but for me I'd be like, yeah, I think it's cool to do that stuff. Like to give a player the ability to do something like that is kind of neat. Like in this scenario it hurts, but in other scenarios it might be like mega sick. So I don't know. Tadflow.
Tadflow is the same thing as Tadpuff. This is a hit to Ivory, Iwoolly champ, right?
Yeah.
No, this is
I guess
exclusively a hit
sometimes
to Asprowl. I played in the tournament.
Yeah,
I won. I
sometimes
played
sometimes
Tadflow
you
in the
make
deck.
Asprowl,
I
yeah.
cited it out every
Josh!
single game because it was dog shit. This card does not work in
Wait, Josh on lunch. Wait,
You
Josh.
got the Bean.
Oh, no way.
Hi, Bean.
I'm catching up on the list. I'm like not happy.
What?
No, neither am I, bro. This is
yeah.
some dog shit. This is some
Not-
ass, bro.
So Antitan's like tier 0, right?
Yes, let's go.
Like Antitan easily best deck.
It's
like
so we played 2 copies of the full moon. We're in there. It's
and
good.
Eclipse. Like
Yeah.
what?
You can clear like 4 back row every turn. Hurricane's real again. It's awesome.
Oh my god.
I'm not psyched for this list.
Yeah.
And echoing back to 3 like makes like Avoid Champion even crazier. Like
That's true.
Yeah,
And then, like,
legitimately,
Kindleo.
like Avoid Champ makes Equalinks and Kindleo more broken.
yeah, like why did they come back the same time?
Well, okay, can
Oh
we
my
talk about
God.
the Like Avoid Champ? Can we talk about? I think that's like the big elephant in the room for this ban list specifically is the Like Avoid Champ. Do you feel like that's a reasonable unlimit, Josh? At all?
Absolutely not. Not
There you
with
go.
not with Rise to the Shadows and also Lunar Eclipse. Like Werepop now essentially says, I'm gonna blow up all your back row plus like 7-3 dudes and like kill you.
So just to clarify, someone's chat's asking, how are you nexting Earth with Like Avoid Champ? So I'll explain. What you can do is when you use your Werepup to ascend, right? Let's say you go full moon, because you will play the full moon. It's like a good call to play the full moon. When you full moon, you enchant 1 spirit to it, and then when you ascend the Like Avoid Champ, you can just slap an Earth underneath it, and then boom, you have a bank. Same thing with a fire. Exactly
This
the
has
same.
been done since Firestorm.
Yeah. We've been
I mean, it
doing
was
that.
done back in Moonrise. It's like
Yeah.
the G like
Oh,
Avoid.
legitimately.
Yeah.
That's kind of the weird part about this is that what's it called lunar aggro with Earth stuff is more back than ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even fire, bro. The scrap deck, scrap lunar, bro. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Scrap Lunar is back. Argo's never been better. Like,
So-
Yeah, legitimately.
That we'll get to that because I really am curious. Like, I'm hyped for it. Don't get me wrong, but I am really curious if we're just back to use Splash, the lunar engine, and everything. And the answer is probably yes.
Yes.
Like
you do.
Yeah,
why
yeah.
wouldn't you?
It's
Bro,
I-
it's an
actually
MST
don't
engine
know if
that
that's
puts 3
true.
bodies
Really?
on board. Like
Yeah.
it's an MST engine that puts 3 bodies on board. No shit, you play it.
Well,
So, the only reason I push back on that a little bit is like Spirit decks are a lot tighter now than they used to be.
Yeah.
Just because of like the sakes of the engines. So like you wouldn't play this in
Are they
Lockagon,
really?
probably.
Oh yeah,
You
no,
probably
sure.
wouldn't play this in Warfrost.
Yeah,
you
like,
could.
for sure.
But, like,
I agree.
I think you play that in Morfrost. I don't see why not.
Yeah, but like good stuff
Yeah,
is back for sure.
Yeah.
Like just generic good stuff with like a Nexus package.
Wait, this is a
Ives is so
Exciting.
back, baby.
Dude, I cannot wait for 35 like out of 40 cards in every deck to be the same. That's
wait.
exciting.
This isn't a list to hit things. This is a list to bring Trish back. Wait a minute. I'm so down. I'm so.
So sorry.
that like a void champ. I have no words. For
I saw
why they
that
did
and
that.
instantly I
It's-
hopped in the call.
Well, my words when they did it in the moment when I saw that, my words were, I have no other way to say it, but this is really fucking stupid. Like that is, I don't know who asked for this. No one asked for this.
Me and Andrew specifically, I think. Well, okay. So Tadflow, I think makes sense. I would have liked to even see this and Tadpuff banned, but if you are limiting the other one, limiting
One
this
is
one's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, one's fine.
Let's talk about race. So I do think in the 1960s we got it right. Like there was some sort of like big shift in civil rights movements, but I think since then we definitely declined in terms of our relations with I think overall politics and the general American population as far as this goes. And it's very funny, right? Because
I'm Canadian, bro. I don't know what you're on about.
So in 2000, okay, let me rewind. Post-racial America was like 2008 to 2012, 2014-ish when we like Barack Obama was elected. We definitely, yeah. Okay, so
Can we address
Give it,
one
give it,
thing?
give it, give
They're
it, give
they're
it.
they're showing Race to the Top to be like, yo, this will buff the Bronaglow deck. Sir,
Wait.
that field spell is called Thunderstorm, not Mount Olympus. No one's playing this in that deck. Are they high? Like,
there's some fine print.
It buffs this deck.
It buffs the deck.
Like,
Because you
Catapult
Jolton.
Enjoyers rejoice.
Yeah.
Yattable.
Yattable. No, race good, right? I'm sad Unk didn't come back, but race to top is sick. That means we have a different type of Thunder deck, which is the like race control deck. Like, we have to play the Reagan administration.
What?
Yeah, that's we're calling it cocaine in the suburbs. That's the real truth.
Oh my god, I can't believe Reagan made his. Well, we already knew that Nixon made his way into Elestrals because of Hermes.
That's
I guess it was inevitable that Reagan would make his way in.
I think that people are like discounting the viability of race though,
a second.
because like race does like out one of the Lockagons.
That's true.
Like good.
Yeah, you go Arcolith, you don't enchant, and then you go race, and then you swing.
No, you don't even have to do that. You just target both the Lockagons.
Yeah, you could target 2 guys on your opponent's board.
What
No, I was saying because then you have a big guy. You have 2 guys in attack.
yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah.
cast Arcolith.
Yeah, of
Arcolith
course,
also
of course.
doesn't do it because it has us 4 defense.
do we think that there's a world where we're playing Magneros, like the OG Magneros?
Just
God, no.
No,
Yeah.
no. If Hurricane
no,
was
no.
around, maybe. And I'd still find it suspicious.
Suspicious. Yeah, race the top 3 seems
That's-
kind of great.
it is.
I'd play this one, right? Just three race, 3 Jolton, 3 like 2 Olympus maybe, and then you.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
I need to pull the
Like-
chat. I want to know where the chat is feeling about this. Chat, can I get a score out of 10 for this ban list? 10 being best ban list ever, 1 being what the fuck were they thinking?
I'm really surprised that Lynx and Kinleo came back to 3, but not this.
That's crazy.
That's a really good
Like,
point.
that
Wait,
is
what the
insane
fuck?
to me.
Most
Like,
mid
why is
unplayed
this
Elestrals.
still there?
So got a lot of 6, a lot of 7s, a lot of 6 7s,
6, 7.
a little bit of 3s, a little bit of 2s.
6-7.
There's a
6, 7.
yeah. Wait, how does this impact Wire Rebellion's legacy? Hermes is still a 3.
I mean, Richard Nixon.
True.
Oh, that's fine. The Hermes deck is fine provided you don't go to time, you know. Other
So-
than that, it's completely acceptable.
Okay, speaking of Thunder runes, Hurricane, right? Like, so this has definitely been a take. Hurricane was great to go, but we set 4 back row, win the game is definitely like a viable strategy, and it has been for a bit. I think argument wise, the best decks can play through those 4 back row anyways. How much do we think that really mattered? Or matters? Like no hurricane? Yeah, the impacts of hurricane.
Like, I think like a lot of my losses have been like, oh, they've seen like they set 4, whatever, not a huge deal. It's when they see counter runes 7, 8, 9, 10 that it's the problem, not the initial set 4. It's like, wow, you really did see 7 or 8 counter runes.
Yeah, we're seeing multiples of Gorgons in particular.
Which I guess is a good thing that we're Echo Links being unlimited. I hate this cat, but
Links
it's
is
cool.
a correct unlimit. It's a correct unlimit. I think Earth needs the buff.
It does.
I don't.
I've been saying it could come back for a while.
I think the hits made Earth better, and now it's fine. It didn't need Links.
You mean the OG
I
hits?
think I agree with that.
Yeah, like the puffs, even like that one.
Name, by the way, just say you can't say that name. That's not acceptable anymore.
What, the cat puffs and the
puffs,
the tag.
You can't say the puffs. That's messed up.
Bro, they just unlimited race, and now you're saying that shit. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm so confused. Wait, what did I say? I'm confused.
It's a P Diddy joke. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
it. Oh, my bad. Okay.
I wasn't even making a P Diddy joke. I was just being funny.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know what you're
Sorry, the tags.
Yeah,
the
I
tags.
struggle to do that. I struggle to be funny.
Equilinx does buff
True.
pretty much every single Earth build, right? Because now you have the one thing about Earth, and I was talking to Wirtz about this just a little bit, where it's like Hopperoo was our go-to Earth card for a while, and it probably still is on some level in some decks, but it is just like the next best list of Earth card that gets you value. And so Equilinx now with the Dio decks, with Champion Dionysus deck, I guess, too, even the Demeter deck, the Crabs list, gets like Crabs actually might get really buff from this. Now I just thought about that.
Nah.
No?
I'm not worried about Crabs. That deck is fake.
Crabs is scary.
But the thing that I am more worried about than anything is that they brought like Avoid back with the 2 strongest Nexusers. Period. Like, I wouldn't be worried about Equilinx and Kinleo if they didn't bring back like Avoid.
Yeah, they basically brought back like a 12-card engine that is extremely splashable.
Crap is so back. My favorite deck of all time. And it'll.
But yeah, this does make Antitan crazy because Earth and Lunar got buffed, and Antitan was already a good deck, so it's like.
Actually, Draking gets better now too. Foamy Search Draking.
Yeah. Foamy Search Draking. Damn, it's almost like they never should have printed a card that searches any 2-drop. Whoa.
That's probably fine. Like, this is also one thing. Okay, so Equilinx 3. We haven't talked about Kinleo yet. We'll get to the Like Avoid.
I think Kinleo is a ridiculous unlimit.
Maybe Lakagon does play Like Avoid because Like Avoid is Tad Puff.
Yeah, you ascend and then go nuts.
Oh
right?
yeah! Oh my god! This is actually.
Not only is Like Avoid Tad Puff, you can do the ascend over one thing and
oh, why did they do this?
Oh god.
They don't think, bro. They don't think with these
stronger than it ever was before.
I can't wait to go to locals tonight for the first time in 6 months. 6 weeks. And Julian will be playing fucking Like Avoid Lakagon, and I will kill myself. I will change the trajectory of the lives of everyone in that store.
I gotta go back to lunch.
Can we talk about one thing? There's one.
Bye, Josh. Love you.
I love you.
Bye,
all.
Josh. I'm gonna say bye, Josh.
So not
there's one thing that I do want to talk about. The Nectar of the Gods is still at 3. Do we have feelings or thoughts about that?
Oh, that Nog still at 3? Ooh, I did, in all the hype and excitement, I did forget about Nog.
I cannot believe that card is unscathed.
It's spooky.
Like that card is really, 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 really broken, especially considering we continue to ramp up the speed of the game. You know, maybe something that we should dial back when ramping up the speed of the game is maybe we should also dial back how quickly you get to see the cards that speed up the game. Like, can we not do that?
There's definitely some comedy in like them mentioning the different qualities that they look at and not hitting one of the highest consistency adders in the game.
Yeah,
Like
it's a little crazy.
It's
to
kind of
me.
wild.
There's, I think for like,
So, well, what are you doing? What the fuck is this?
we're building the lock gun list.
He's building Coastalith. Yeah, no, I like this.
Actually, we gotta get one. The
Lithagon.
one of Draking.
It's Lithagon, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Gotta get that in. We gotta go.
I'm serious.
We gotta go. What are we doing? Wear pups. We gotta go. Where are you at? That's right. I gotta. Where is it? Format standard unlimited. Everything's back, baby. Eclipse. Maybe 2 of these even. Because you have the ability.
Yeah. I play 2 in any deck that cares about the lunar guys.
Turn 1 MST, turn 2 Heavy Storm. Like, that sounds sick. Yeah, I do think Nog is even more valuable in some cases with like the 1-ofs and the decks. Like More Frost still plays probably 2 or 3 Nog. Lock-On still plays 3 Nog. Unironically, I think if your deck's splashing in Werepup, you play 3 Nog because you just want to see the Werepup as soon as possible because like Void's still crazy.
Yes, sir.
And that's like kind of sick. Inside of like Fire Nexus, you probably still play it. Any deck that can effectively heal spirits at a rate that is comfortable can do it. Solar might not be able to because the deck's just tight, but still could. Maybe like that. That's all I can think of at the moment. Yeah, by splashing Werepup, what flavor is your Werepup engine? Kind of. We'll come back to that. Kinleo. Kinleo hit.
Should not have done that. I was expecting to go into this list and see less Elestral removal in the game, i.e. Solar Burst Nova Core. So for there to be more, I'm pretty angry about this change. Like I think it shows a lack of understanding of the format. We're gonna hit Lockagon and its consistency of blowing up things. We're gonna add more removal into other things. Like, I don't know. I don't fuck with it.
It's really weird. I think in terms of like when they hit both Kinleo and Equilinx, it made sense for them to put both at 1, and then I guess now pairing them together, they both go back to 3. Is like how I'm trying to think of the process behind that, but
went independently to 1 though, right? I'm just remembering that.
I thought they both went to 1 of the same list.
It was Equilinx last year went to 1, and then Kinleo went to 1 in Firestorm.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It was this time last year Equilinx went to 1. So it's been they were not paired, so it feels weird that they're paired now.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know.
Especially when Fire, I mean, like, I don't think that the Hestia list is particularly strong. I think that Brewlock is just kind of insane with it. But like to do this just feels a little silly when it's already like doing pretty all right.
Yeah, I think as spirits, like the Hestia investment is much less scary. I think players are much more comfortable now just saying, if I have 2 spirits left in my spirit deck but I'm winning the game, cool. Lockagon, I think, showed us that. Solar showed us that. The Fire deck definitely shows us that because they bleed spirits like blam. So it's Kinleo is very scary for me there. Like a Void with it's also very scary, but I'm also sad that Sparkit didn't come back. Actually, that's a good point from Constellation. Like,
yeah, wait a minute.
Like it maybe
kind of crazy.
It kind of could have in some way. It would be really like rough, but it's the same kind of process, I think. I'm trying to think
I
of
think
why.
Sparkit came back.
Well, because like,
Ugh.
why Equilinx and Kinleo? Why are they evaluated this like the same? They might not be.
I think that it seems like they are. I think what's crazy is that my assumption is that they see them as being equivalent in like fairness, I guess, but Sparkit creates bad play experience, so it's less fair. When I'd argue that they're pretty similar since they all equivalently read your opponent gets one less card.
Yeah, I guess the difference is like valuing the Elestral destruction versus back row destruction, which I guess. So
Well, it seems like they think that those are identical, right?
I think even if not identical, I guess because Hurricane is not there, the idea is that there's more likely chances that your opponent will just have a bunch of back row. And so Kinleo deals with one but not the other. And Equilinx, I think Equilinx deals with both. That's the weird part stats wise, but my problem with this is the same problem we've had since forever ago, which is that because Gorgon's Gaze is the load bearing card on this,
Yeah.
if you don't have a way to remove the Kinleo, which back in the fives format, the idea was that if you don't deal with the one Elestral, it sticks and then you lose. Kinleo sticks, you lose.
Yeah. Yep.
Like tempo wise. So it's a huge tempo swing for Fire. When they already have Lavalith, they already have a deck that doesn't necessarily need to care about not having Elestrals with Hestia. The only thing this does for Fire is
the
give it
Hestia
to
deck.
me.
I think is probably very real now.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
not that it wasn't real in the first place, but I think it was carried by a solid player on a solid list. But I think that with Kinleo now, like this shit's gross. Like this is a very gross deck now.
Yeah. It's it does give Fire something to do that's not necessarily battle focused. That's maybe the one thing is like if I'm trying to balance Fire and I'm saying what can I give it or take it away, Fire has been like the stronger Fire builds have usually always been battle focused, and so this gives it something to do in the main phase finally, but this is like it gave it an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary. That's so funny.
Hestia got a gun.
I think
I support women's wrongs.
I'm excited for Zero specifically, and my signed Zero card gets like stonks through the roof. Where's my card? Actually, I had that.
True.
Right
I gotta
here.
go find my Kinleo as well.
Actually, it was already on hand. Shouts to my goat.
Mine's with all my special cards.
What's sad though is I did put away my other Stellars for this card, so unfortunate, but that's fine. I'm excited to see what Fire does. I think Fire has been long overdue for some big shifts, so I don't hate this one. I'm a little more confused on it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm willing to be convinced as the format plays out that actually it's acceptable in some way.
Yeah,
I've been very silent while you guys have been talking about Kinleo. I'm not about it. I think that card is it's.
Wait,
okay. So
when the scent's right.
I think a big issue. What?
My goat. He's like, I bubbled with Krakatuga on Saturday, so I guess I'll cook. That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
My goat.
That's actually the worst part. Is Eruption might even be even more viable now, and like, I got a top with my first top ever was a top 4 with Krakatuga. I hate that deck. I'm so sorry, Win the Scent. It's so frustrating to play against.
So a thought that I'm
having.
having. A thought that I'm having about the Kinleo, right, is I've talked a lot about this problem in Elestral of must answer guys that you must deal with the moment they hit the field. Otherwise, you lose if you let them live for a turn. Kinleo is exactly that. Whatever guy you try to stick, if it doesn't immediately answer the Kinleo, i.e., if your opponent has a back row and stops it, or if your guy doesn't just like immediately cook this thing, your guy dies. Like Kinleo is effectively free. If you can use the effect once, you can use the effect an infinite number of times.
So I did just think of something with that though. Yeah, first Cryoblast stonks for sure. Second is that like
Cryoblast.
and actually that's I think that's the point. So one thing I did think about on the desk and a little bit with the solar list that PK Law, Alex, and myself were kind of like rolling and brewing with. Kevin, did you play that same list?
Yeah, it's dog.
Lamau.
It was mega ass, bro.
So the one thing I did think about this past tournament and format a lot was like something that reigns in my brain is giving the format time to cook and players a chance to respond to the metagame. And I'm trying to think of not only the rationale behind bringing some of these cards back and back off. I think the cards limited are very easy to spot in terms of why they're gone. But the cards being brought back turns my brain in a way where I'm like, these are cards I think that the team is probably saying like, if the format shifts, the players are going to have to respond. So I'm trying to think of what is this in line with, right? It makes the Lockagon board easier to break. Big, like 15s, big 3 drops, harder out 2 drops, the Cryoverns, etc. More Frost even. You deal with wide boards with this too, if the Kinleo sticks, which was kind of something that we were having a problem with. Like there's things behind the Kinleo Unlimit that actually has a lot here, and I haven't quite fully fleshed it out, but I think that even to the point that you just made, which is like if you stick it, it's probably game over. I think that's gonna now shift players to play cards around like the Kinleo. Effectively, like this is format warping, but in like a very strange way, is like my thought. Which that could be a good thing. I don't know, because like that makes decks slightly weaker to having to tech for this card, right?
Yeah, I get you. I get where you're coming from. I just don't agree with the logic of like putting this card to 3.
It makes fire artifacts.
I guess
it does.
It does make it less frustrating to it makes it less frustrating to get hit by the one of, I suppose. I guess we'll take that.
Yeah. It also like so it This one I think I'll have to marinate personally on. I think initial is that it's strong. It's probably going to obviously buff fire. I don't know if other decks are going to splash. They probably will. But is this card a problem for Lock? Like, or is this a problem for the top decks in the meta? Like, can't Solar Burst hit this? More Frost can kill this thing. Like Lockagon, obviously.
Are you saying we're gonna use Scorpio on this?
Maybe, or Cryoblast. Like, you have a lot of removal to if this is the nuke we have to disarm in the fire deck now versus like the Leonite. Like this gives like I'm trying to think of a hit outside of fire, like that sort of thing, I guess, or like a buff outside of fire. And I can't think of anything. So in fire, this means that your other plays are much safer. Like your opponent has to now make the decision to hold the removal for either your Leonite or Kinleo. So it gives them another boss, which again, Kinleo terrifying, but that's like you can't just get steamrolled now after your big lion gets got, because then now there's potentially this. I don't know.
I've been reading through a bunch of different chats I'm in, seeing people's reactions to this list, and like,
is it positive?
seems like a majority is either this is a mid list or this is a terrible list, and it's a lot more negative than it is positive.
I don't know. The way that I'll put it is it feels like a list that was made by people who do not play the game.
I could see that. I could see that. It definitely feels like a lot of the decisions don't really make sense. I think the only one that feels logical is the bat hit over the other hits to the deck. But also, I don't really think that was a card that needed to get hit. I think Morphrost is one of the most fair decks in the format. It's all the other things that engine supports that are problematic.
There's a blog post up. Ooh, does that actually illuminate us to anything? If it does, we'll read it. So, okay. The Morphrost one I'll push back a little bit on. because I do think Morfrost as a general engine, is like is so weird specifically because I think it does unfortunately highlight the old school problems with like mass amounts of removal and the idea of if you're just playing a deck that can consistently put out a solid body with low investment and low commitment, you'll probably still win because most of the time the other decks just cannot deal with it. So it's like it highlights, unfortunately, the problems with other decks and strategies, where while Morfrost is not the end of the world, it is something that I think carries a lot of moments and moment plays, right? Like the Cryovern Morfrost list from 6, don't get me wrong, 6 is a good player, but the Cryovern Morfrost list is not as scary as the iWilly list, right? But it's consistently putting up tops and like doing really well because you combine the solid Morfrost engine that's just always going to do what it's going to do, even if it's middling, it's going to do it every time, with a card now that is just like halfway needing a response. And then also some decks just can't deal with 2 5s, which is maybe again a problem with the other decks, but like no other deck can do that.
Yeah, I feel like saying some decks can't deal with 5s, like I don't know, the top decks in the format do not have a problem with dealing with 2 5s whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
like the problem that in my tournament run with the deck, the only problems I ever really encountered were the top decks because they actually had answers to my things, like, and the problems were always I hit like the iWooly stuff. That's when the problems come. Very rarely was I winning just off of Morfrost being a solid engine. And in fact, I think that the people that I played against that were on pure Morfrost, things felt very back and forth fair up until I hit the iWooly engine.
yeah.
And I guess the strength of Morfrost Chimera is that you get to draw into it more consistently. But I think that is just showing that like it's a consistency engine that also gives you a mid game, kind of like the Magneros Aphoros stuff, right? I don't see it as being like it's kind of like Fiendsmith, right? It gives your deck something to do until you can hit the big powerful plays. Just given Fiendsmith is objectively way stronger, right? It's like I play 2 5s, big deal. I draw a card, big deal. I ascend into a guy that then the last time I played my deck, the Morfrost iWooly deck, turn 1 I hit 3 iWoolies, and that was fucking insane. And I won the game on the spot off of that, even though my opponent then did lock combo because they just couldn't deal with that many big guys. That had nothing to do with the Morfrost stuff.
Yeah.
That day I played almost no Morfrost because I just saw the good part of my deck that I wanted to be seeing.
I think that's the right. So as this is one thing I think not to sound too conceited. I think when what comes to the top level play, like top players, I agree with that. Like the idea that the real gem and why that works is the Morfrost stuff. It's the other engine that's enabling the big bomb and push, like the win condition, the true win condition. Because I agree with that. Because I personally think it's much more scary, and that's because I think from a majority top player perspective, the Morfrost engine is not hard to manage and control, but I think that for the majority of other players, even outside the decks that they're playing, it is something that needed to be addressed. And I think in this way, it's not addressing some of those consistency pieces. It's mainly just like it's still leaving the Morfrost engine pretty much alone. And the Tadflow hit, I think, hits the iWooly portion of it. So it's
Tadflow doesn't hit. Tadflow is a hit that hits exclusively Blitztrix and nothing else.
Also fair.
I think if a deck outside of Blitztrix is playing Tadflow, they're playing the deck wrong, because I threw that into my list as I'll try this out on this tournament because I don't expect to be doing well. And every time that I saw it, I wished it was a different card. I used it one time to go into OG iWooly, and it mattered exactly then. But if it was a Morfrost, I would have also been fine. I think that Tadflow is nowhere near as strong as Tadpuff because you can't dodge things the way that you can in Aphrodite to then search and do another one. It takes your normal cast. It really is only good because you can hit it off of Iwooly to go into an Asprowl or something like that.
I didn't see the thumbnail before. This thumbnail is amazing.
It is sick as fuck. I do like the Tadpuff getting strangled with Kindleo and
That's funny,
Equilix
yeah.
running next to him.
It's funny because the thumbnail doesn't give away that they're unbanning Lynx and Kindleo.
It kind of hints at it, like they're running from the.
It hints at it, but it doesn't give it away, right?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
cute.
I'm trying to find the blog post a little bit so I can take a look at that. We can yap about Lycavoid for a split second. I know Josh terrified, similarly terrified. It is a huge buff to Lunar, obviously. Like Lunar doesn't really do much outside of this, like just in element. It is also going to enable a lot of other decks to do some pretty scary stuff. That is 100% true.
I feel like my problem with Lycavoid, and I think this is kind of indicative of the list at large, so there's a lot of things in the format that even people that enjoy it acknowledge are not particularly enjoyable parts of the format. And I think that this is only going to exacerbate those issues. Like the only reason that we're going to see certain problematic things decrease potentially is that they get gatekept by exactly Lycavoid or Equilynx. Like a lot of the unfun and unfair stuff that Solar does is going to be gatekept because you can now go Equilynx, Demeter or Dionysus, Nexus, pop an Apollo that got loaded up. And that will be the gatekeeper that stops the unfun things there. And so the instant that Equilynx is gone, Solar comes back and does a bunch of very unfun things again. And I feel like
there's
Lycavoid
a
is the
whole
exact
ass
same problem.
A whole ass page for this. Wow.
Hell
Yeah.
yes. Oh god.
I really appreciate that they're doing some of these. I will be curious to see how much of their written section is cognizant of the actual impacts.
Yeah. Do y'all wanna read through this here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Y'all want to start with back at bat or jump back and forth? What about y'all?
Start from the beginning. Run it.
All right. Ban and restricted list update, December 2025. We got, as promised, we're back in December with an update to the livestream competitive format. We've heard the player feedback clearly about both the interest in some adjustments and some insight into our decision philosophy, and today we have both. To start, we should review the goals behind the restricted and sent to Tartarus list. We have a very smart, competitive player base that has surprised us time and time again, and we're always watching to see what the next big innovation will be. In addition, the Tartarus list is meant to be a living document. It's kind of scary, I think we should kill it. As we release a new expansions, existing power levels shift as additional tools become available. As such, older cards can return and create new developments instead of inhibiting them. In addition to the limits announced today, we have also some unlimits coming to the format. As far as we're concerned, no ban is permanent, except Helios' Chariot Ride. That can stay gone.
Actually, PK's kind of right. This sounds like exactly what A-Drive said in the video. Sounds like a script.
I didn't hear the.
I don't think it's the same.
Like
I think they hit
this
similar
portion.
points though.
Yeah, it definitely does. They definitely. Dan probably took this, put some notes, and then just like sent it.
Yeah, probably.
So, and that's probably fair. All right, limited to 1 per deck, Morfrost Bat form. This hits to Morfrost's current resilience and heavy pressure it can present. We're happy with the positive impact that Morfrost Chimera form has had on the fan favorite archetype. However, while the first board swing full of these frosty Elestrals is fun, the second and third are simply too resilient for opponents to manage. So this is telling me that they do see recursion as resiliency, which makes sense for the lock hit. I do think they could have worded that differently. They could have just used recursion instead of resiliency.
Yeah, or like repeatability.
Yeah.
These are all different concepts.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly because I think resilient means to me that it's hard to break the board or hard to break the deck. So that I guess clears up the confusion as far as the wordsmithing goes. But we're also Yu-Gi-Oh players, a game for lawyers.
This is true. This is true.
Lawyers,
yep.
XD.
Early versions of this deck didn't look scary in the data. But recent developments show an incredible win rate and an archetype that shows no signs of slowing down. We don't want this strategy to disappear, but this limit to bat form will require more investment to the Divine God Kione and in Frostix to recur boards. View all impacted prints. Interesting. Okay, that's cool.
This is something that you were already doing in this deck, though. Like, it doesn't change anything. Like, I'm still running Kyo and I'm still running a Frostix. Like, if I go and take this to locals tonight, I add in an extra Frostix because I think I'm running 1, maybe 2, and I add in another Keon, and that's it. Like, the strength of Bat was bringing back another Elestral. I'll just do it with Frostix instead. Like, cool.
But I think I can appreciate that doesn't get you it doesn't net you an extra card off Chimera, and it costs more.
It's also more commitment.
In that regard, yeah, it costing more feels better on the opposite side. You know?
Agreed. It's like that's like the one thing.
I'm still doing it.
Well, right, but I think that's the key. The weird part about the bat form versus lichen form hit, or some sort of bigger hit, is that like the point of this is similar to the Unk hit we did from years ago at this point, where it's like you're just trying to change player pattern, and I think that's fine. You know, this is something that's across the board, and we kind of know this, is that they're fine with decks being out and strong. Happy Pride, but I think they're also really, I think, hitting the nail on the head with this one, just saying, hey, if you want to do this, okay, we like that, but just pay a little more spirits for it. And maybe that will be like evaluated later. Maybe it's not that big of a change, but I think that's not a terrible thing.
I think a big thing about the bat form hit specifically, right, is that if they limited Lichen like most people wanted them to, a limit to Lichen, all that achieves is that they don't see the Lichen as often, but the moment they do, the deck becomes exactly the same as it is right now. You just don't see the Lichen as often, right? You get 4 copies of Lichen instead of 6. Then the moment you see one, the deck, the play pattern doesn't change. The deck is exactly the same as it is, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that changes here either, though. Like, I mean, so infrequently am I going Lichen search a double bat form or something like that. It is always going to be Lichen Chimera
No,
bat.
I think the big thing, right, is let's say your opponent goes, you know, Lichen into Chimera bat, then goes Chimera pitch bat, revive Lichen, whatever, standard stuff, right? If you kill the Chimera there, they don't have the option to go Keon, add back Lichen search Chimera bat, do it again. They do have the option to go bring back Chimera, normal it, but then they can't draw off it, or they can bring back bat if they already have a Chimera. But that, again, it just requires them to have an extra piece. They can't just go Keon to get both pieces, if that makes sense.
I agree with Q in chat saying bat limit does nothing to change how more Frost. Either Vern or Wooly play more Frost. It's like, yeah, as an engine, all you really need from this is to do the one loop, right? Like you're just trying to dig a little bit. You're just trying to set up to then ascend into something. You already got your 2 bodies. It doesn't really change the rest of the deck that is the strong part, like I mentioned earlier. Like, we're killing off a deck that has had, like, we're killing off the pure Morphrost deck more than we are the rest of the deck, that, you know, the rest of the Morphrost decks it uses an engine. I was looking at Kier talking about how they would change their Blizztrix list, which looks almost identical, by the way, just 2 less Tadflow. And they're talking about how they could toss in a 5-card Morphrost engine just to have the same thing. You decrease the number of cards in deck through searching, you get another card in hand, and you get bodies. That's all that really matters. That's all you really need is the 5 cards. That's about it.
Probably, yeah.
Lamau. I think it's, so my TLDR was, I think it's fine that they killed the pure version. the one thing across the board that was super consistent is that you could just play 5s and control space back row wise, which I think was incredibly frustrating when I think it's better player experience wise to have the more committal in other so many ways, iWooly and Blizztrix or other sorts of eventual Frost decks, which is arguably more powerful. And I agree with that. But most players playing just a pure variant, you just had to what? Like control space with a 5 body that got brought back 3 times over. That feels bad considering the deck that is too powerful to also compete with the other strategies. Where other strategies were committing a lot more to doing a lot more. And so when you get the same result with like 3 spirits versus like 8 spirits, that feels bad, and that kind of sucks. I don't know if that made any sense at all. Like Morfrost is able to do what Locagon could effectively with no spirit investment, practically. Like the pure version, I guess I should say. Like iWooly and the other variants are definitely stronger, but like I don't know. Pure was definitely the most skill expressive. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. That's bad form.
The point about only penthouse members bringing it, no wonder always got top 16. I do think that this is kind of an unfortunate aspect of late set syndrome, I guess I'll call it, where people play less of the true best decks because they're boring or they're overdone, and they go and find cool, interesting, skill expressive things like this and still do well. And I think that Morfrost catches a stray as a result, because if we were all playing the best Frost deck in the room, it's likely Blizztrix or it's the iWooly version. Like, if you're actually trying to play the best deck,
it's definitely Shiver.
That's what you're doing.
No, actually, wait a minute. I agree. Wait a minute. This is definitely okay with me. This is a penthouse hit. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Rybot. Sorry, Bo. Sorry, Perky.
Sorry to everyone involved.
MG1 probably okay with that. They're playing the 8 solar spirit or 8 spirit type deck. They're chilling.
Yeah, they had to nerf me, Bo, and Perky. Those are the exact hits.
Adam, why you say no? Hell no. You're with us. You're the solar player. Come on.
You're one of the good ones. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, after this, everyone's gonna be a lunar player, man.
It's true. Thank you.
We'll be building in Titan for tonight.
-2.
Everyone miserable.
Woe be upon ye. All right. Tadpuff. Locagon is a fun and new strategy that is maintained popularity success since its debut in Livestream for sure. We like this deck's gameplay and focus on consistency. However, it's a bit too fast and sometimes too consistent. It's okay for Aphrodite to serve as a... It's true, you can just stop at serve.
Wait, I'm sorry.
True.
Read that one again. We like its focus on consistency, but it's sometimes too consistent. What the fuck does that mean? Pick a lane, dog.
So I guess
Pick a lane.
It's okay for Aphrodite to serve the strong engine once online, but Tadpuff enables combos and powerful ascensions a bit too quickly, making it difficult for opponents to keep up and manage. By pulling back the speed, it allows other decks to breathe. I guess they don't elaborate on the consistency portion. Because I was thinking, I'm like, maybe it's the Aphrodite side they're okay with. I guess what they're saying is that, once again, this is a difference in the resiliency versus like recursion, repeatability, versus, I guess, trying to define these more... Okay, TLDR, words matter. They definitely, in future blog posts, whoever is listening to this, that you probably need to do a little bit slightly better at being able to differentiate some of these terms, because this to me sounds like...
What this means... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with it means.
To me, what this reads as, if we compare it to what the Morfrost paragraph is reading, we can differentiate that resiliency means repeatability here, and not like a defensive resilience. But for this, for the Tadpuff one, and maybe again taking this a little too literally, but just a small point, you're saying here that you like the consistency, but don't like too much consistency. That's fine, but the thing that is expanded upon is speed, and so it's like
Yeah.
that's
my understanding
that's
of this is
small
this reads to me like we're okay with the deck being consistent and fast, but it's not allowed to be consistently fast. And I'm just like, okay, I'm lost.
Yeah, that's I'm with you on that one. And it doesn't necessarily, I think, in my opinion, align with what I think Tadpuff's real strength is, which is its with resiliency here. But
Yeah. Tadpuff represents a push, not a consistent, like it doesn't even represent speed that much. It represents a push.
in the lens that the Tadpuff into Lockagon pipeline is the thing they're trying to slow down, this makes complete sense. That makes complete sense to me. But hey, Hat, what's going on? We like this deck's gameplay, focus on consistency, but it's also quite fast. It's okay for FD to serve as a less strong engine once the line path, but enables things a bit too quickly. Yeah, that's fine.
So I feel
that's
like
what
I just
we're
disagree
saying.
with that concept, right? Because Tadpuff doesn't enable things too quickly. Like it's already done the thing by the time you do Tadpuff. Like you are so rarely starting Tadpuff combo.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just
Tadpuff
not how the deck
is
functions.
Tadpuff is typically going to be the you broke my lock board. Tadpuff is how I
I'm
rebuild.
gonna do it again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because the Tadpuff, I don't see it as a speed tool. It does in the way that you can just fire it off whenever, and then you get to the lock combo before other decks can commit to their combo. For example, like yes, but that's like saying Funglo Charged is a consistency piece, which I'm okay with that. But like it's similar. Like Funglo Charged into Synectric, right? Let's say that. That's the equivalent.
No, we gotta kill it. Sorry, ban.
I'm saying your stadium too. Your stadium too bad.
Stadium too bad. Your stadium too electric.
Yeah, your stadium too electric.
Your mushroom too bouncy. They're gonna kill you.
Got to kill you. Yeah. So I again agree with the hit. This makes sense as far as what they are trying to say. I think verbiage is just maybe a little bit off on this one. I think the Morfrost one definitely is like the sweet spot, by the way, for explaining it. But if we're taking extrapolations from what they view about the Morfrost list, it's the same thing. It's just worded differently. Tadflow, with new live stream cards in the mix, Blizz Strix is still surprisingly consistent, and when combined with Tadflow, it can lead to surprise iWooly of Champion of Kion, which can lead to an explosive board presence. A limited Tadflow will hopefully keep this experience from being so common. Funny, because I don't remember Dan, maybe I just didn't hear it because we were doing stuff, but maybe Dan mentioned that, the Blistrix side of things. Because Caleb, to your point, this is a bigger hit to Blistrix.
Yeah, this is a Blizzstrix hit, and even then it doesn't change Blizzstrix, really. Like, that deck still exists, and will still be a menace, and if I ever decide to play at locals, I will have to play versus Kier playing this deck, and I will be miserable.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, it goes back into... I actually, like... Not to name drop the K word, but Konami, when they released their ban list, typically I'm sitting here like, what are they doing? Like back in early COVID, or back whenever like Sky Striker had its A Billion Reigns, or Eldritch, like they clearly like that these strategies exist and the type of things that these decks can bring to their game. And so that they're clearly okay with keeping some things alive and well. And so this to me reads, we don't mind Blistrix, it's just maybe a little bit too strong. And also, can enable the iWooly stuff, which is as simple as I think it needs to be. Versus, like, it's more complicated for Bat and Tadpuff, for sure.
Yeah, that concerns me, though, because I think that Blistrix has forever been a very problematic deck that is creates a lot of non-games. And so, if the team is cool with that deck, that's scary to me, because I'm not fucking cool with that deck.
Yeah.
Like the Morfrost iWooly deck that I played, I think is like a fairer version of Blizzstrix. But if I wanted to play the most unfair version I could play, I'd be playing Blizzstrix.
Personally,
I just don't find that enjoyable.
I think that the quick fix to it that does solve the issue for Blizzstrix as far as like non-games go, legitimately is just to limit Blizzstrix. Like, put it to 1. Like, you still play it. It still exists as a strategy. But once again, it stops the recursive value. Like, you don't get a chance to hit Blistrix faster or multiple, or even just limit Aspral actually. Like, you know, like put that to 1, and so you can still get it.
I think the issue is that you still can just play the 7s deck basically, and I think that is equally as problematic.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Unfun games as well, because it's basically the same as the iWoolly stuff, where you just are getting out a bunch of 7s really quickly, except you can do it even more so, do it even faster, because now a single Catarant can represent, you know, you don't just have to go Catarant into iWoolly, into multiple Catarant, into multiple iWoolly. You can go Catarant, iWoolly, and then hit in the same mill Asprowl and Snowlit, and boom, you have 2 7s.
Yeah.
Like, that already is a whole lot of stuff you can do in one turn. And so I think that Asprowl is a large part of the problem as well.
Yeah, Asprowl is a little scary. It's I'm of like a weird two minds with it. Like even back in like Moonrise format, I was thinking like if you just ban Blistrix, the deck still is just 7s Frost, which I think is I can't, like in my theoretical format brain, I'm like, is that fine? It's scary. Like I'd like to see it. Like the one big issue I think with it is kind of like Dr. Barber said, like iWoolly, Catarant are the war criminals, but it's like, is that a problem with Blizz? Because Blizz is, I think, the weakest part of that deck, or is that a problem with just like the iWoolly stuff? And it's definitely just that iWoolly is strong, but it's committal. I like that personally. I feel like Blistrix sometimes is not committal. And that's like fine. To the Cedar Sword thing too. No, I think Cedar Sword is fine. Like it's strong, don't get me wrong, but I don't think Cedar Sword is like a big issue. It might be eventually when we get stronger cards that say send to the underworld. That's the one part about it. But for now, I don't know. Seems aight. Asprowl to 1 is the Blizz hit. Clearly are fine with Blizz as they do. Yeah. Yeah, Asprowl strong. The 7, every card that says 7 in the game is terrifying. Because it's oddly enough, I think out of the 2-drops, the cards that have 7 attack and 2-drop spirits are we're looking at 7 attack. Most of them have probably the most insane, actually I'll look at 7s. They have the most insane effects imaginable. Except for Dracodoodle.
Yeah, look at all those, Jesus Christ.
Like these all are terrifying. Even Capregal searches the card that locks you out of the game.
Yeah.
The Haboofin
Terrasail
was cool. Terrasail's this card is crazy. It's just like level and degrees of strong. Haboofin is the Haboofin deck from this weekend. The first round one was pretty sick. I did like that a lot.
Haboofin is so fun. My favorite part about playing Haboofin is finding out that OG Haboofin is actually infinite impermanence.
Yeah, that was cool. Okay, that I think needs to be explored more. That was a really cool idea.
It's sick. It is a very cool little interaction. There just isn't enough position change cards in the game.
Yeah, not or at least not like within a convenient element.
Yeah, like you play Tsunami and you swap your own to defense, and now it doesn't work anymore. Fuck.
Yeah. Shiver is crazy. Leobra is crazy. Lustragon broken. Sunstrike when this comes out, this card's gonna be turboed for sure. Ruminous. Actually, this is probably the weakest one. Well, no, Necrolith's the weakest one, but I'm so sorry, Necrolith. Used to be sick. Shame. I'm like half waiting for Kevin to come back before moving on, but
he's out in general talking about Genesis. He's moved on.
All right. Unlimited. Race the top. All right. Even with the new Rise in Brontiglow and Thunderstorm decks, Thunder has struggled to keep up and remain relevant in the current livestream meta. Fair and true.
I'm back.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Someone had the stream on the back. We're curious to see if the return of Race the Top can encourage more experimentation by rewarding players with destruction and the ability to swing board back in their favor. Fine, makes sense. This is
Race has
Never
always
need to
been
be
fair.
hit.
Always been a fair card.
yeah.
Citation, my article on top of Elestrals never need to get hit.
The impacted prince of race the top. Yeah, makes sense. All right, yeah, this is we mentioned in our video.
Okay, this is really funny actually. The little link and hat, if you're in here, the link that you have doesn't tick the box of all prints. So when you click it, it only shows you one print. It doesn't actually show you all impacted prints.
Yeah,
there's more than just one print.
Yeah, there's the Morfrost bat print is one of them.
I think that do they all do that?
Yeah, they all do that.
Yeah, they all don't have the all printings button. Yeah, the links are wrong. I'm gonna DM him. I'll let him know in case he's not in here.
A cool idea though. I do like this idea that it links back to the collect site. That's neat. Yeah, race good card. Race balanced card. I like it. Equilinks. Oh wow, whew, my bones a little bit. A year ago, Equilinks was an oppressive force to anyone trying to build a strategy around active runes, with the ability to routinely destroy runes every turn. Can we get some runes in chat? Every turn while surviving behind a wall of effective or efficient defense. It was a tough Elestral for opponents to manage around. In the current livestream meta, we don't see that it's happening often. And that's true. It's because it's at 1. And the Earth element has dipped in power levels and popularity. We'd like for Earth to get a chance to recontrol back row and play fair mid-range focused on the controlling the game state. Dionysus is officially removed from a fraud watch and maybe soon coming to the most wanted list. Agreed. Yeah. It's scary. Lynx is very scary. I think Josh mentioned it, that Earth gets a lot of stuff back. Which is like fine. Lynx to me being a 4/3 makes it more terrifying. It hits a lot of breakers in the meta. Yeah, just buff to Earth I think is good. This deck doesn't do anything completely unfair. It does probably mean that I'm so sorry, PK, you could have played your X of 10 in the tournament this past week.
I really agree with Frizzle saying Echoing Sekila could easily backfire by hitting slower decks more than faster decks when they resolve. I think that is a really, really good point. I think in and of like the deck that I think is going to struggle the most into Equilinks is going to be Solar because of needing Apollo to stay up, and that is a slower fast deck, right? Like it's really fast, but it's slow in a certain way as well. It's kind of weird. So I think that this might end up hurting the least common denominator a lot more than the top end.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's kind of weird because I think in some games, like you can have just like G-check cards. I was talking to my brother about this inside of Pocket for Steelix. Mega Steelix just came out because he was like, why are people playing this deck? It's not good. It doesn't do enough damage. It's not fast enough. And I was my thought behind that was just, I think it's just like a G-check card. It's just like if your deck can't like effectively deal with it, if it can't outpace it, that's like it's the gatekeep deck. And I think Equilinks,
deck.
Yeah, it's just saying, hey, if you can't, if your deck doesn't have the tools to deal with this, you got to reevaluate. Which Equilinks has always been that way. It's always been the card that says if you can't deal with this card, like look at your deck, which speaks to the power level of it. It's meta warping for sure. I don't know in this day and age if that's true for Equilinks, but it is definitely true for Kinleo. Kinleo has actually a lot of text. Cool. That's actually good. Because Kinleo is meta warping then and now. All right, let's heat things up. There we go. Fire artifact decks have cooled off since the start of the livestream meta, and we'd like to give the fire element some more options in deck building, especially with cards that allow them to build more diverse playstyles. Kinleo awards a divine focus playstyle while preventing the opponent's battlefield from getting out of hand. All three of these, this is the ending of the thing. They need like a page break there. Yeah. Okay. So okay, we'll just read that part. All three of these cards were restricted when the Elestrals trading card game was played very differently, and the efficient removal was one of the defining factors of a successful deck at the time. Shout out Giant Fives. As threats have improved, the decks have become more resilient. There's more of an opportunity for answers to get better too. We're hoping that these new unlimits provide incentive for players to experiment and help improve the comeback potential of multiple different elements. That's it for the unlimits. Actually, we'd like to make one more change. We won't avoid it any longer. Won't avoid any longer. Like the wordplay.
One, we won't avoid it any longer. What does that mean? One, we won't avoid it any longer.
I imagine the draft was like we won't avoid it any longer. Maybe the one was added on from the other one more change. I'm gonna be honest, my brain glanced it over.
No, you know what? Actually, no, I respect it. They're making spelling mistakes or like wording mistakes or whatever, phrasing mistakes, I guess you could call them, to make it very obvious this wasn't written by AI.
Oh, true. So Kinleo, I think this makes sense. I think that's like the big one is that fire does like the one thing, so it does change what fire can do. I think we mentioned that in the video, but like
it doesn't do the one thing. It has burn now. Like that is something that's been doing pretty decent for a while now. Like I think that this will just end up making burn even more viable, and I don't think that's a good thing.
I think oddly enough, too, like if I'm thinking about the fire pool of cards, this does allow for like the general fire stuff to raise up, right? You can maybe play like a discard Hellmelt deck and have more Nexus fuel for it. It definitely does like increase divine usage because it's like you pretty much gotta. It makes the Hestia deck better, the Hephaestus deck better, and you would still play this anyways. It just now is just like probably significantly stronger. I'll say significant.
See, there's this cognitive dissonance I feel like in this post of rewarding divine play focus or divine focus play and then unlimiting Equilinks. Like they're right next to each other as well. One of these punishes divine focus gameplay and then they want to reward it with Kindleo. That seems really counterintuitive and makes me concerned a lot.
Echoing should have only popped face downs. That's the way the card should have been.
You need to errata this bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see that. I think maybe also the idea is that this encourages Earth to play more divines, which it kind of already was with Cyprong, which makes sense. But
yeah,
I also think too that the decks aren't necessarily playing in tandem as I think the other part of it. Like Equilinks, unless Earth becomes like the meta shattering threat, it does punish not punish, but
that's what I'm saying.
It hit. Yeah, I don't think it punishes it.
Divine play, yeah.
I don't think it punishes it. Not really. Not compared to Lava.
No, I think objectively it does, because when Equilinks and Lavalith both went to one at the same time, they specifically said it's because they wanted to promote divine play. So they know
that should have gotten banned.
Also true. But like they are well aware that these cards punish playing divines. It's like this feels so just unaligned from them. For them to say we want to promote divine play and then bringing back the card that they said punished playing divines a year ago.
Okay. The thing that gets me about that is, and maybe that's something that needs clarification or will be clarified later in something. So I think their idea with Kinleo is just that it was oppressive towards runes specifically, and that they're also not saying not divine runes, so that's the asterisk. But I think in nowadays format, maybe it's just the speed of Equilinks. Like I'm trying to find a way to understand, I guess, that point. Like I hear what you're saying, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't necessarily think it conflicts, and I'm trying to figure out why I don't think it conflicts, because maybe it does.
I think about it this way as well. So if I imagine an average lock turn, we best case scenario get 2 locks on board, and we maybe have Tadpuff plus Champ lock in hand, right? We have Aphrodite on board to then be able to do it again next turn. Equilink says, if I have like an Earthquake or some other piece, or I'm playing Demeter and you put them in defense position. If you have no back row, I go Equilinx, Demeter, Nexus, pop Aphrodite. You now can no longer do lock combo, even with your 1-up Tadpuff. I swing over the defense position champ Lockagon, and there's nothing you can do at this point. Like the game is over from you, right?
Yeah, I think maybe the other idea is that with that in mind, it requires more. Like if your strategy is revolving around the divines, like that, like Aphrodite, like Solar, like Hestia even, it requires you to play more copies. You can't just be like non-committal. You have to play the Searcher even to add the consistency there. And so in some ways, like the destruction of it I'll say could is it the load bearing word here, promote the decks to play more of them because they have to. So it does punish it, and thus that makes the adverse effect of adding more. I do think then too, Equilinx having the option to hit the back row or the Divine Rune, it'll usually hitting the Divine Rune's correct. But I don't know. I think maybe too, it's not a direct hit to Divines in the way that Lavalith and Laurels is based off of commitment, because like Equilinx is still commitment in that way. But it is scary. I will say that it is scary, and that does create a lot of problems with decks that can't effectively deal with it.
Yeah. I think that the issue here is that Locke already has to Dr. Barber's point, Locke already has the clear issue that can be targeted of you hit Aphrodite and it loses a lot. This is making it even easier for decks to be able to do that. And I unironically think something like Titan now has crazy gas to be able to play into these boards and absolutely demolish, because you have what has historically been the strongest card. Like I think there are very few cards that are up there with Equilinx historically, especially in terms of play consistency, results. Like I think Earth has the most tops of all time, just from like base set into Frostfall into Daybreak.
Yeah, it was the best deck for like 3 sets.
Yeah, and then Moonrise hit, and then we had Earth Lunar show up as well. Like this is such a good card that we at one had entire decks built around trying to resolve it. People were playing double Rummagem to get to this card.
Yeah, I don't. So to Julian's point, the 3 Aphrodite, 3 Foamy for that, I'm not necessarily saying just into lock, more for like every single deck has to consider Equilinx maybe at that point, and that's a big maybe. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. But yeah, I
feel like they have to.
Right, and that's to the point of Kinleo even being format warping, is like maybe that's the Equilinx in the room, which is partially why I wanted this card banned. It's like I think the way that adjusting play patterns is nice, but I think when you're adjusting mandatory deck building standards, it gets a little bit hazier.
Yeah,
and that's to the point of like for Tadpuff or for Morfrost, these change player pattern, versus I think Equilinx and Kinleo almost in ways changes deck building, which maybe that's the thing. It's like that's the nuance, is that similarly to how we were playing Dense Fog and how we're playing chains in certain strategies, is that's just the way it goes. You kind of have to just say the format changes with these in it and go there. Yeah, I don't know. I think these Nexusers specifically have always been strong and kind of in problems, and they still will continue to be. But I don't know. The big one that is huge, like a Void champ.
Yeah, that fucking ridiculous. I've
been very silent this whole time because I'm just like, yeah, everything else kind of just like makes sense, sort of. This one is the one that I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. I want to hear the reasoning.
Yeah,
if
so
there's no reasoning for it, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, there was no reasoning for this. This is dumb.
So, chat, if you could, out of a 5, give me your feelings on this coming back while I read this. All right.
-3.
This card it was one of the most hotly discussed earlier this year when it was quite the powerful card in Firestorm, with a wide variety of opinions and perspectives on what to do about it. We originally had the plan to errata the card, but we ended up switching gears and printing a new fixed quote-unquote version of the Artemis starter deck for a livestream. While we were happy with the logic that led us to the decision at the time of printing, the livestream format overall has taught us that we have some room to grow in terms of power, and Like a Void Champion of Artemis can fit right back in. And I kind of agree. With livestream's increased focus on synergy, Like a Void splashability is less of a concern since Spirit slots are harder to come by in 2026, to Josh's point, and the ability for a player to respond to Like a Void Swarm has been granted to multiple contending elements. Yeah, actually, this is actually pretty much my thought behind it. Like back even when livestream started, like even with the Helios, even with the Hurricane ban and stuff. Like we don't have. I think the power level might be fine. It's a big TBD for me on that. Like maybe I'm missing something, but the spirit investment's pretty heavy. Like the 6 spirits you'd have to play for this deck now. What's Lunar 2, the extra, and then yeah, 6 Lunar Spirits is what you have to spend for this engine.
Mhm.
And then other decks can still deal with this. Like I think other decks already have native outs, right? Am I missing something?
I mean,
Like Frost does, the Hermes deck does it, Locke does it like the best, Solar
Yeah,
has
but
stuff.
Ursir outs the entire board. Easy.
Ursir can.
I feel like the consideration here is that if you're doing
7.
this, you do it after turn 1 and your opponent goes -5 on the turn. And I think that's worth the investment.
Yeah, Spect comes back. Spect was already, it was one of the top Elestrals played like for the past like couple premieres too. That's fair.
So Ruli's in chat saying, did they need to hit Lock and Morfrost with these unlimits? So I think the unlimits that I think the only unlimit that makes me question if they needed to unhit those is the Like a Void. Because like I said, right, the game was too fast. A lot of people agreed that the game was too fast. And the game need to be dialed back a little bit. So they dialed back the speed and resilience of some of these faster decks. 'Cause let's be honest, Morfrost wasn't very fast, but like the Locagon deck definitely was. So they dial it back, but then they just go, yeah, so we want to dial back speed, but here's the fastest fucking Elestral you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I just having read some of what Pat has been saying in other channels, they don't have a problem with the speed. So none of this has been about decreasing speed.
Yep.
It's about hitting the other pieces, right? So it makes sense that they would add back one of the fastest Elestrals to date because they want to make everything as fast as Locagon, as Solar, as Hestia, as whatever deck. They want everything to be at that speed.
Yep.
But I feel like that is massively incongruent with a lot of opinions I've been hearing from a lot of different communities. That is too fast. We don't want this to be this fast.
Like, if we want the game to be fast, I'm gonna be so real, bro. I'm gonna be so dead ass. If we want the game to be fast, we'll just play Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not even kidding.
I don't even think
If we
that this
want
is
the game
like
to be that fast, we will just play Yu-Gi-Oh.
So
Straight up. Like, there's no reason for this.
the thing that I think is weird is that like, and we do know this from when Livestream touched down. So like Livestream Firestorm, I make the joke that Firestorm was just part of base set format, right? It was just an extended base set theory. It didn't move the needle quite enough, and I obviously I think the team knows this. They Livestream's out. Livestream changes everything. Sets 7 and 8, my understanding as well, are this similar type of like speed and power level. Both in the fact that you can both do things, have game plans, and actually do cool stuff. That's not just like, let me bring out a body and then go counter rune pass. Body, counter rune pass. And I don't know. I think this is in line with that. I don't know. I think that's probably fine. Justin, wait, no, don't say this list. This is good. Lego's back. Lego's good. Sun and Moon is the greatest.
No, so Justin's probably gonna say he likes the list because he wants to play Lunar.
That's what I'm saying. Lunar's not dead. Justin told us the entire time. No, I think but yeah, I don't know. That's this, as far as the conversation of speed goes, like we know that they like the speed of the current format. Like that's been apparent, right? Like, and I think on some levels that's fine. There's just like
I don't know. I enjoy some aspects of the speed of this format. However, I think it's lost its novelty because of a lot of the cards that I deem to be unfun in the format that I feel like some people think are necessitated by the speed. It's just I don't know. I feel like this list could have done a lot to still have a similar pace, but just bring it down a little bit. I think that a lot of people have wanted other decks to be able to break into the metagame more reasonably, and instead of lowering some of the ceilings of other decks, they decided to throw in some of the most problematic historic cards to try and raise the other decks up when they were at like a like I think that the place that like Fire Artifact or Hestia or even the Krakatuga deck, I think the speed of those have been perfectly fine. They've been really fun and interesting. I've really enjoyed playing lower level, like lower powered decks at locals when I'm playing against other people on similar decks. But having to then play into Lakagon or Solar or whatever it is, that is where the speed becomes unbearable, because the gap between the top decks and the other decks are just way too large. And I think that might be a disconnect that's happening between the team and the community.
Yeah, that might just be like, so on some level, maybe the idea is that the players that got used to a lot of the up until Firestorm format, like that's the preferred, and we're kind of just in like the shift of it. Because I think and maybe because I didn't necessarily love Firestorm because Firestorm was like in some ways this promise of like moving on from what I really didn't like about my number one dislike about early Elestrals was you have body on board, your opponent swings, you go shield. And then you go, okay, I just lose now because now you go another big stat body, it's another back row, and I can't outpace this. And thus we have to have a lot of removal. It's like, okay, we have a lot of removal that makes games very uninteractive in the way that's like back and forth play, right? Like I think this, and I'll point this back to chat, I kind of agree with Dr. Barber's point. Right, personally, I also kind of like the fact that I can do stuff and feel like I'm doing things, and I'm not just going card, set, swing, card, sweat, set, swing, and playing Go Fish of whether or not the counter rune like takes back pace. Like the pace swing in this instead of live stream so far has been nice for me. I agree there's frustrating interactions and there's frustrating like cards still about, and Like Avoid is definitely going to be one of them. I think this will cause like a big shift in certain types of decks. But I am curious to know how the format adjusts speed wise, right? Because like back in Firestorm, this was an issue because no other deck could keep pace, but now that we have decks that can, I'm curious to know how it goes. It might be bad, like I don't know, but I'm kind of excited to see like how that pans out. But that, again, I think it's only because I like the speed of the game right now. And like that a bunch of different decks can do that.
I think there is a little bit of a disconnect on what speed people like. Because if you ask me, I think the perfect speed for the game is where we were at in Moonrise. I think that was exactly where we needed to be. And that's why I super checked out with Firestorm. I was like, this is ramping the speed up to fucking 9 and then live stream amp the speed up to 15. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is what the fuck is going on.
The only thing to me that I like about the current like format that I didn't think happened at all in Moonrise and or in Firestorm or in Daybreak is that, like, to me, one of the best things I liked about Elestrals was being able to utilize the spirits in cool, creative ways. And there is like some micro stuff that Moonrise promotes and that Moonrise had that was really interesting for like utilizing Nexusing and like how you would splash in and manage your different spirits. But I think they were much less meaningful in terms of decision making. Like the thing that I liked was the Nexusing, how to utilize cards. I didn't necessarily super love the fact that as long as I had a body that stuck, I was disproportionately outpacing my opponent. And I think because of that too, that ended up having most games amount to a board where I wasn't doing anything creative or cool with spirits on board or off board. And that's something that kind of felt bad. It was, when it did happen, it was sick and very skill testing and very skillful. I'll say that. But I don't think it happened enough for my taste. And then Firestorm comes out and it's still the same thing.
Let me ask you something.
Right? I don't know.
Do you feel like the game back when it was slower pace was more or less skillful, more or less luck based than the game is right now?
I guess I can answer that question with the counter rune problem, right? Is that if we take a look at the format historically and not like this like a wish list ban list, if it was the how over was the game if your opponent had shield and you didn't, right? How over was the game when they activated PTA and you didn't have like an answer? That to me was mainly the issue. That the pace of the game was slow, and that's fine, but I feel like most games amounted to can I how to put this? Do I have the response that auto wins me the game just based off the nature of the speed? Because I can't remember who, if it was a Jeff Jones or someone that made the point that like you have a limited amount of actions based off of the fact that you can only like cast one spirit per turn effectively. Mm-hmm. And so I think because of that, you didn't have any options or tools to effectively combat this sort of strategy that was compare hands, whoever had the greatest amount of time getting to the 2 Elestrals on board. That was it. And like for when you were playing Clash, right? You experienced this. Like you'd be up, you'd be like, I think I can come back from this game, and then your opponent has shields and you lose. Right? That's
I feel like the format is still fundamentally in a similar spot though, right? Like it still comes down to like if I'm playing versus a solar opponent, if I
who got the gaze?
Yeah, if I start with an average turn, they start with Winjin, I've lost the game. And if I don't have Gorgons, right? If we're mid game and they have like add a Nova Core and then draw Glimbat or something, I've lost the game unless I have Gorgon's Gaze.
Yeah, there's definitely
lock can be very similar, where it's like if I don't have the exact out to, you know, the one of 3, maybe 6 cards in my deck that stop you from entirely obliterating me and putting me -4 to -6, I've lost the game. And at least in slower formats, there was chances you could outplay your opponent. Currently, the only way you can get back into that shit is if they completely fumble, or you draw like Earthquake, Laurels, fucking Rise from the Ashes, which is now banned.
I agree with that. There's like still like I think Winjin and again this Like of Void probably will prove the case, or Kinleo on some level. Like there are cards that will be probably a little bit too impactful, like maybe, but the thing that I can agree that there was the chance of you can come back, you might be able to draw, or there's ways you can configure your board. For me, the question was like, no matter how skillful you could be, no matter how skillful you could try to make it be, the percentage amount of times that you were just like in chess, like you make either one blunder and now you're just losing the game in like such like the biggest insane percentage way. But it's worse because in slower Elestrals format, that percentage of you being able to do that was, I think, pretty insurmountable in some cases. Like no matter what you did, and the most games amounted to just that for a lot of decks. Not for like the slower decks, like the decks that were game plan decks, right? Game plan decks had an immediate disadvantage, and especially if you wanted to do that, you were just losing inherently based off of deck choice. So your 5 style decks and your beater style decks, while yes, you could maybe come back from like being behind, it was so much worse in terms of the amount of times you actually did resolve that. So it felt better when you did, because it felt like you outskilled and outplayed your opponent because of those things. But I don't know. From the games I watched in tournaments and from playing a lot of the games, it didn't ever feel like that was true. Like for example, like the finals with Bo, like I had to expend a draw 3 times and it was over. I expended a draw once in that match. It's over. Like to be fair, yes, there's misplays that happen and fumbles that exist. Like, and I did it to be fair, but like even then, I was in a bad position regardless. And that's just
Yeah, but that's identical to now. I think if you expend a draw early, you are likely in such a bad spot you can't come back anyway. Because now instead of them having 2 bodies that are swinging you for 1 each turn, they have 2 2s. They're swinging for 4 each turn. And so it's identical.
2s?
I 6 7s.
I think that's
6
I think that's true so far. So based off the ban list, I think that's what the ban list here is trying to help curb, is that there's this sweet spot between like doing that and having the resources then to break and to respond, and then ensuring that that's like to when you can time your push and do that. Because Morfrost was doing that. That's again why I think Morfrost was so powerful, is that if you gave Morfrost the turn, they could do that, and then you're like, okay, I took my turn, now I have my resources, let me push. Morfrost stops you, and then or you're able to break apart the board some way, but then Morfrost can just do that thing again. Same with a Locagon, right? It's now just about averages on less likely chances that will occur. Like you can take a little bit more time to get resources together, and that's something that could not happen before. Like the pace was, like not only was like the game slower, but also inherently you were slow. But in this case, a lot of decks I think are at the speed where they can take a turn and still have a chance, because like based off of just things that happen, like the Hestia deck can take a turn as long as it sees its combo. Locagon can do that for sure. Morfrost could, maybe depends on if it can now. Like Avoid definitely, yeah, for sure. You know, like there's.
So I feel like the taking a turn idea to me feels like it's in a vacuum of you're just taking a turn. Your opponent is also generating advantage in that time, which only makes it more likely that they then get to blow the fuck up whatever you do on the crackback. Because if you have put it, this time into investing the resources for a push, they've already been hitting you, putting you lower on resources, and then they get to do a similar push back to you. You're already down.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Because again, the size of Elestrals now, you're losing more resources every turn than you would when it was a single 5 hitting you one turn, then it was 2 5s hitting you the next turn.
Yeah, I guess to the point of that is that the difference is like in the removal options, or like in how those counter pushes work in tandem, like with the pace, right? Because I agree with you that before you weren't taking that many spirits, so you could say I'm going to spend 3 turns to try to get back, or try to position yourself back in there, which again goes back into the skill gap, that if you were of like the skill variety, or you had like the idea of what to do with your deck, you could claw yourself back because I need to do this and time this then and do this now. Like current Elestrals is not the same in that you don't have to, in some ways, like have a backup game plan that is almost all skill. Like you can just say, I have this helps me break the board. And that's a little bit, that's maybe part of the difference too, is that when you're on the back foot, that's when we see a lot more like skill expression and players actually show some acumen. We see that a lot with like Julian be able to break apart like Jock's Iwoli board like twice and still take damage. Like Julian took an entire like 8 damage to the face and was able to break the board twice. And to be fair, part of that's because of the Tad Puff and because of things with Locke. But that's still part of it, right? Is that
I feel like that's a very unique thing to Locagon, being that it is a healing deck.
Right. So that too, but then also what I think and maybe I just don't know the scope of the elements currently, but I feel like with these bans and kind of the speed of the game, and I'm speaking out of my ass for the team on this one, I don't know, I think that's what they're saying, is that a lot of decks have those similar types of resources, like either in removal, destruction, or speed, or healing, etc., where you can stare down these big boards and take a turn, take 8 damage, 10 damage, and then deal it back. I don't know. maybe that's how I see it, and that's I'm missing something there. But that's also how I felt with, like, you know, PK broke a lock board twice with Solar, and Solar has the removal. Solar's a good deck. Fire can do it too. Maybe to a lesser extent, and that's why they give him back Kinleo. Earth can't do it, which is maybe why they give him back Aqualinks. Yeah, I think that's maybe part of it. I don't know. Like, I agree speed is fast. I agree there's cards that are frustrating. But I don't know. Like, maybe I just didn't like Moonrise format that much. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. Moonrise was just kind of base set extended format. And I will say, the one thing that I do like about Livestream is at very least it is not base set extended format, because we had 5 sets of that basically.
Yeah.
I really like the end of Moonrise format when Fire Artifact was not at full power but kind of existed. I think that was a really interesting micro format. That was a lot of fun. Especially because Moonrise format needed a shakeup so bad and did not get one the entire time it was out. I don't know. I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'm pretty down right now based off of this list. I'm gonna go play my first locals in 6 weeks tonight, and maybe I will. I'll change my mind.
Is new list effective immediately?
No, but I'm gonna make them use the new list, or I'm not gonna play tonight. I'm pretty sure.
I think everyone will agree. Most people care.
People's decks aren't changing all that much in the first place. You take 2 Tad Puff out of Locking, you put in 2 Peliquarius, you take both of the
bro. Zane can play Race to the Top again, bro. Mans must be over the moon.
He might come back. I have not seen him in months, dude. Like, he's not played in a long time, so maybe he'll finally come back.
He was in the chat before when we saw the react when we were when we saw Race to the Top, bro. He was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that something changes up, but I will be bringing Like a Void to locals tonight. I will be a menace, and we'll find. I want to find out for myself if this card if it should have been brought back or not. Because I don't think it should have.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is in the chat.
He just sent. He was just sending back and forth an Imperialist yesterday.
Oh,
Just
dude.
gas.
Does he know? Does he know about reveal for Imperial?
He better.
So,
Zane, if you bring this shit to locals,
right
I'm firing you. Do not bring Lycavolt. I will kill you myself.
yeah, the really funny part was I was cooking on some level with Imperial or the Synetric Ascend deck. It's missing like a couple pieces, but if Sunstrike gives us some stuff, Imperial is very real. And it's super scary. Yeah, I don't know. So I think we've so final adjustments, gone over everything. The list looks kind of similar. I don't know. All right, so I guess final thoughts and everything. One, let's check the emojis. Tadpuff, Frost, they were all right. Dan didn't bait us. Very cool.
Yeah.
And Leo Race to the Top Aqualinks.
Leo Race to the Top Aqualinks. It's
all,
Tadpuff, Tadflow, and then it's
Likeable.
the Bat form and the Like a Void.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one, what do we think the biggest winners and losers are for this?
Biggest winner, Lunar.
Yeah.
Biggest loser, I mean, Lock, but not by a lot.
Yeah, it's like they lost, but they lost like 5 pounds.
Honestly, no, you know what I'm gonna say? I have a really crazy one. I think the biggest loser is Solar. Not because like Solar didn't lose any cards, but my god, some of these things that came back, fuck Solar decks.
Aqualinks like a Void, like, dude, they're fucked.
So
which I'm happy about. I fucking hate that deck.
I'm gonna address a quick comment in the chat, and I'm very sorry to the team hearing this because I know they're listening on some level, and this is not a great response, and they're working on it. I know this. Do you think part this list will be implemented in Clash? My response to that is a big My response is just, yeah, Kevin. I can't help but laugh at that. Unfortunately, that's my response is a big chuckle.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
Unfortunate.
Dog fucking
Unlucky.
killed me with that one,
Unlucky.
man.
Unlucky.
Holy
Unfortunate.
shit.
It sucks. It sucks. They got
Whoa.
2026 will be the year of Clash. I do not doubt that. Right now, nah.
2027,
man.
dog.
I hope
Big
Nah,
dog.
it's listen, playing Clash recently. I mean it's just I don't know, it's good. It doesn't like it's not as bad, I think, as partially we think it is, but it's just behind. Like, I don't know. But anyway, like they're working on it. But unfortunately I do have to laugh a little bit. Not a bad question.
XDD.
But if you want another riff, another joke, I don't even know if Clash has these cards.
Yeah, that's the one.
So
Yeah.
like, you know,
no.
but yeah, 2026, the year of Clash, I believe it. No, unfortunately not. So, but yeah, solar is rough. It does still lose quite a bit, but it's still, I think, only because Equilinx and Kinleo. Lunar good. Thunder good? Did we think Thunder's sick?
Thunder has fucking nothing still.
Nah.
They would, I think
No.
Thunder would have needed Arcolith to be unlimited for them to be playable again. Like, it just has so little.
It's, maybe. I think Race gives it
Disappointing, but I
a
mean,
layer.
It's true.
Yeah. Equilinx and Race to Top have been unlimited for a month or two. And that's true. And I think that's kind of sick for Clash. Not gonna lie. Race to Top, when I found out Race to Top was unlimited in Clash, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And it's pretty good. I like that. What else? Any more losers? I don't even know if there's necessarily any losers. Because personally, I think this buffs a lot of decks. Is Burn better because of this list? Like,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Krakatuga better?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yes.
So
The-
biggest
the
loser,
Hestia deck is-
everyone that sits across from a burn deck.
It's. I think it's still slow for what they have, but it's still. Well, I'll have to see. Maybe Kinleo makes that worse / better. I don't know. Equilinx hits a lot of stuff like the Hephaestus for the divine stuff. It's a very simple list. I think it's both insane and also it's gonna shake up a lot. I'll say that.
I hope
Annihilate
so.
Eruption, please. Please.
Let's see.
Eruption to 0.
Yes. I
Eruption should have
beg
gone to 1, frankly. That would have been a perfectly fine thing to do.
you. It's searchable, man.
So then finally, I think I could say I can't think of any other decks that really, again, this doesn't change a lot of top decks, and I don't think they were really intending for it to anyways. It's just small things here and there, and then Like a Void is the big Like a Void in the room. Yeah, how do we rate this ban list overall out of 10?
2 out of 10.
6.7 out of 60.
6.7 out of 60.
6.7.
Is that worse than 2 out of 10?
6.7 out of 67 is a 1 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
I got I'm giving a big 16 out of 10. There's 16 cards on this list. The Swallox Classic. If it's not
Also,
that,
I'm gonna say the thing. I'm gonna say the thing. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be contrarian. I think anyone rating this ban list above a 6, maybe a 7 at a stretch. Anyone that's saying like this is a 9 out of 10 list, a 10 out of 10 list, or whatever. Anyone rating it above a 7, you have got to develop critical thinking and stop yes manning anything this game creates. I'll be so real. You have to stop yes manning everything about this game, please.
I think
Do yourself a favor.
there's no way. I think this is like, so honestly, I kind of agree. This is a kind of a good list in a lot of ways. It's like it's both impactful to the metagame and also shows us things that like there's room to both grow and have some insight. It actually has real change, and also like it has maybe some scary stuff on it for sure, but that's not like a bad thing, right? Because to me, the biggest part is like, what I would hate is that we are stagnant in a format that no one likes. At the bare minimum, if this turns out to be like certain mistakes or certain things are still there, it still breeds experimentation. It still breeds like creative deck building like stuff. I don't know. I'd very much disagree. I think this has a lot of layers to it, and hopefully curbs some things. Again, there's still problems in the format, but like, I don't know. It's neat. It's probably
I don't know. I feel like for a game on its 6th set to have the statement there's still problems in the format, that I think that's problematic. Like, they have all the power to remove the problems in the format. They have a lot of feedback, they have a lot of evidence for things that need to be taken out. Why are we not making stronger decisions?
Well, like Wingen's a good example, right? Where like when was the last time Solar, like Law topped recently, but when was the last time Solar converted outside of Law? Like it's I agree with you that it's a bad thing, but I think for what they're seeing, it's not performing. So then there's like reasons behind that. I don't know. Like there's bad cards individually, maybe. Eruption's frustrating, but is it winning?
I think that looking purely at is it winning is incorrect.
Yeah. It's like it's a vacuum.
The last top 8 there's been 2 top 16s past the 20th. There was one on the 6th, there's one on the 15th.
Yeah.
But also I just do not think people are playing it. And I think it's largely because it's not a fun deck to play, in my opinion. Like, it is still very clearly strong. A part of why I haven't been back to locals in a while is because one of the guys that plays at locals plays Solar, and it's just not fun to play against. It's like, I'd rather just not play than have to play versus that deck currently.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I mean, part of the thing with like cards that are in the meta still that are frustrating in like by like interactivity. Like Champion Like Void was one that we did call that a while back. But it's always going to be the question of like the weird mixture between results and community feedback. And I think that's maybe why. I think that while we might be able to say Wingen, Eruption, and some problematic cards are really like problematic in these interaction points, maybe they're just not seeing the results to justify it. I don't know. Because I think Wingen's strong, Tanajan like really strong. That's just the one example I can give.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and it's been ridiculously strong since Moonrise.
Yeah, but I do think on this level there needs to be results. There needs to be tangible things that we as players do to force the hand. If Elestrals is gonna say that's okay, then we'll do it. It's like Void. Like Void, people were like, should have been hit before release, should have been limited before things, and they said you can have it. And so on some level, we just need if the answer is, or the question is, they still have them in the format, and the gamble is losing players because of that, or like having things be too dominant, that's on us to do now. Like
well, I don't know. Saying that's on us to fix the format to prevent them from losing players seems
no.
crazy.
Sorry, not that. Elestral's team, the idea is that there's a few outcomes to this list, and it's like either people don't play because they don't like it, or because things are too broken, etc. And if they're giving us these tools and we're allowed to play with them, let's break the format. Or let's show them that if we think that they are wrong, quote unquote, or like that there are certain things that need to be hit, that's on us to showcase that, I think.
Yeah,
like,
see, but then that requires me to play decks that I do not enjoy, and so I'd rather just stop playing the game than play.
Yeah, like we're not the problem there is that we're not a QA team. We are players. We are meant to enjoy the thing. If we're here, it like the way that I look at it, if we are constantly trying to have to fix the game because the people that make the game don't understand how the game works, that's how you kill a game. That is how a game dies, straight up.
I don't maybe I'm misspeaking by saying like we're not doing massive QA, but in a weird way we are. Like when you think about like what the ban list is, like we're not trying to fix the game and tailor it down to even our preference or otherwise. It's more that like we're not trying to fix the game, right? That's maybe the big issue. Like we just play and yap about it. So it's like, even if we were QAing, cool, right? But we're not. So what?
I guess I have one big
lost.
question. Did anyone ever at any point ask for Like a Void Champ to come back anywhere? Because I didn't see it in any group I'm in. I didn't see anyone go, we need Like a Void Champ back. Or no one. I didn't see anyone say this ever.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yes, like like the Elestrals general, like there have been people that are like, no, Like a Void could or couldn't. That was a hotly debated for a while. And even if that's true, like let's say on Twitter or in certain servers or testings or locals that weren't talking about it, there definitely were, or the team, or this maybe is pulled out of nowhere and this is a team decision. But if that's the case, it's the team's decision. Like for example, like yes, everyone was talking about race, but let's say a card on here that they ban, let's say like pick a random card, they banned Cryspore. What would that tell you? If the team just banned Cryspore, what would you say to that ban?
It would tell me that the team has absolutely no understanding about how their game works or where it's at.
It would tell me that in a future
it would tell
set,
me the
there's
exact
something
same thing.
upcoming.
It would tell me the exact same thing that unbanning Like a Void tells me. Is what my answer is.
So that's, I think, maybe the difference is that to me, if they ban Cryspore, my two thoughts are, huh? And also, am I missing something? Not the fact that the team is missing something, but am I not seeing something? Like, did I miss something? Because that leads me to interrogate like what I'm missing.
I feel like the hard part about giving that kind of benefit of the doubt is that there have been historic lists kind of like this where it feels like the team clearly missed and there wasn't something that the community was missing. Like Race to the Top was an immediate and obvious thing that didn't need to get hit. And so I think for a lot of people ended up throwing into question the team in their decision making. Like just from interacting with other people, that is what I've heard other people express as a result of that specific change.
I think
that people are going to have a lot harder time giving the benefit of the doubt to be like, okay, are we the ones that are wrong here? Are we missing something? When there's at least that one off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure there's a couple other examples of like
there's only
really
one I can think of
changes that didn't make sense.
Like there's only one I can think of, and that's Drataya. Like Drataya is the one I will say that, and this has a lot more to do with early Elestrals infrastructure and like in testing and resources available and like being a small indie game thing where that clearly missed, and then someone along the way said, oh, like we were wrong about this, because that's like an FTK enabler, right? And they stated that too. Like I don't think they've been hidden in like when things were missed or being like we were under or overestimating or underestimating the value of certain cards. For example, like back in the Earthquake and Laurel's Limit. Again, we're talking about early Elestrals. I think things have just changed enough from what I see that I can maybe this is just a personal thing. I don't think we've had something in a very long time that indicates to me that things didn't change in terms of how they are evaluating stuff, because when there's a lot less quote unquote missteps in terms of balance in this way, like there's no like yeah, there are things that maybe like Eruption or Wingen, again, two powerful cards that have like very different but very powerful slash like gameplay implications for the players in terms of experience. But I'm trying to think of other cards that there are actually actual missteps, not just like balance preference. like let's say Lockagon gets like semi-limited or limited. That's not a like a mistake. That's like a gameplay preference that they clearly like having the Lockagon stuff there. But they're not. That's not like a we overstepped. Like a Void, they came out and said that was our bad, right? They got rid of it.
And then brought it back one ban list later.
Well, it's
later,
been what, like a year?
1.5 ban lists.
It's been like 7 months since this card was here.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a long time.
I don't think it's been.
Well, okay, no. My
released
question
7 months
is,
ago.
I think the question that we really got to think of is how long has Like a Void, Champion of Artemis, Escape from Tartarus been legal in the game before they've unbanned this card?
Before the new one, how long has that been legal?
I don't think that we should focus on that hard, because like the reality is they likely had some product that was already being made with Like a Void Champ in it, and so they had to make a new card to fit that in to still make that a product that is releasable, right? Otherwise, they would be releasing that structure deck just like, here's banned cards in it, and I don't think that looks good. So I mean,
every structure deck they've
doing
released
that.
has banned cards in it.
But those are
Well,
always
not
banned
banned, but
retroactively,
limited or
right? That's
whatever.
not like it released with a banned card in it that is as prominent
Wasn't there
as that.
a starter that released with like 2 Earthquake or some bullshit when Earthquake was already at 1?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think that that's a lot
fine.
more. That's a lot different from a banned card. It's not like they released a deck that had Drataya in it. I think that maybe Elachik was in the Champion of Zeus starter deck. I don't
No,
remember.
they had Champion Elachik. They had Champ Elachik.
Okay.
So
I
the last
believe.
ban list was 2 months ago. Before it was five,
Yeah,
so 5 months.
July is when Like a Void was banned.
Yeah, so we've it's been 5 months since we've had this one, maybe even
Nova
6.
saying Coder is hurt by Yu-Gi-Oh. What does that mean? I don't know what you're saying.
Konami sucks heavy. I'll say that. So there's definitely some PTSD behind it. I would say is what the idea is. Because I don't. Yu-Gi-Oh gave me a lot of issues in terms of like I do not trust that this is like the design of stuff is going the way that I would prefer, right? Like there's a bigger deep dive into this, I guess I should say, but 4 hand traps, 1 card starter meme. That's the game.
Mhm.
That's the game of Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
Yeah, but Elestrals is not that.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that Konami moved Yu-Gi-Oh into that direction deliberately from products, ban list, etc. So that's that thing. Like for me personally, that's partially like Konami's decisions, design-wise, inherently, company structure, etc. Really doesn't work. But I think what Nova's saying is that there's carryover from those decisions inside of like this game. Like the sins of Konami are hurting this, right?
I get you.
Whether that's true or not, I don't agree, but you know, that because that's more for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, play Genesis format.
Do I got the sick ass Necros deck that I just built?
Hey, yo.
Random question: can Fair Dex go to 3?
yes.
No,
No.
Absolutely not.
especially not with Like a Void.
No. And especially not with Rise from the Shadows. Oh my god.
Yeah, before it was
Imagine it
sketchy,
gets outed.
but now definitely not. Yeah, I don't know.
Riftbound is goated.
I think with that being said, I will be taking my leave. But I've said all I had to say about this ban list. Hells yeah. If y'all, honestly, bro, I'm going to say, if y'all are enjoying this, by all means, enjoy it for as long as you can. I will not fault you for enjoying something that you enjoy. I personally am not enjoying it. And that's just a me thing. I will never knock other people for enjoying something. Straight up.
And that's fine. It is totally fine to go in and out of playing games. This is something we see with Yu-Gi-Oh! We see with every card game. It is fine to take breaks or just stop with hobbies. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I have
Hey, I
not
keep
played the
getting
local in
convinced
6
to play
weeks.
the
Like, it
premieres,
happened.
but yeah.
You keep on getting convinced because we roll up in a call 5 deep and we're like, this is great. I don't know, like
Yeah, you roll up in a call and you go, yo, this one solar deck looks cool as fuck. And I look at it and I
Yeah.
go, it does look cool as fuck. And I get like the blinders on of, damn, this one deck looks cool as fuck. And then I queue into Hermes that slow plays. I queue into fucking getting triple eruption and whatever. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Never mind. The deck I'm playing is cool.
Put the Dragalis on the board. Just put the Dragalis on the board. It's okay.
the deck I'm playing is
the-
cool.
put the fries in the
Okay,
bag.
my deck is cool. So yeah. Anyways,
Yep.
we can proceed. I'm gonna hop off, but yeah.
Okay.
Banlist XDD. Bye all.
Bye y'all.
Bye bye. Love you, Kevin. Bye bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
he's gone.
Oh, okay, bye Kevin.
I think sort of my big takeaway from this is like, regardless of my feelings or not, I'm open to seeing how this ban list changes things, but I'm not super optimistic about it. And at large, the reactions that I am seeing from the different communities that I'm in and I run do not seem positive, and that I think is a concerning result from this. I think the ban list should be things that are exciting. I look to Yu-Gi-Oh, where basically every ban list for about a year now that I've seen, people are majority very happy about it. Magic the Gathering, people have been very unhappy about ban lists up until they finally hit Vivi and Standard. Like, people usually see these as things to celebrate, and so I think that no matter the actual reality of the game, the reality of how things will end up playing out, community reaction is really important. And I think that looking at other games, they're very much an indicator of game health a lot of the time. If players are dissatisfied, both by gameplay and by a restriction list, I think that is a really big red flag that the team should be looking at to kind of determine, did they miss the mark? Are players missing the mark? Is there a better way to communicate the list or decisions or changes, whatever it actually ends up being? But I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm expecting the next Premier top 8 to look pretty much identical.
Yeah, I think we'll see in the immediate future tons of Like a Void. We have a couple of weeks before the next premiere, so we have some time to cook and brew. A lot of the early shenanigans or cheese will definitely still be there. As the format progresses into the Sunstrike stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some like meta calls or some things that change. But like Locagon still tops. Latagon might be better. Like Earth maybe get like a small buff, so maybe that comes up. More Frost will still be good, but I think the pure version died, so iWooly is good, which is, I think that's fine. I like the deck.
It's fun. I love my elephants. They're
Yeah.
my funny little friends.
Again, it's
I
like
do think
it's weird. The decks, I think that top decks, Morfrost, Locagon, and Earth are still there, and still powerful. Fire gets a huge buff. I'm really just curious to know what Like a Void does. Like, is this like it's probably, it again is very strong, very scary. I'm just curious to know what it does.
I've already while we're sitting here cooked up 2 different lists with Like a Void in them.
Oh,
of,
yeah, I gotta
Earth that I think that you might enjoy.
This
I'd love to get
coastal
your
effect.
feedback on them, because I did just straight up look at your
The Lego
Luminous
deck.
Rumble and Titan list
Oh yeah.
to see where I could slot in Equilinks and Like a Void.
Yeah, so it's funny. There's the deck I'm showing on screen at the moment with the Romantis. This was the original deck I wanted to bring to the Luminous Rumble, was something like this, and I couldn't find my Romantis, so I cut these and adjusted the list to the current deck, which is arguably, and I'm so sorry to the End Titan enjoyers out there, I don't know what to tell them. I looked over everyone's list and I was like, unfortunately, we're not going to play the way y'all have been playing, because this deck is not suppression control. It's
No.
bug beatdown. We're playing all the good bugs
yeah.
and going nuts.
Suppression is just not good.
It's not it. Artemis Zero, this good card, but it's not the feature. It's a bug.
Mhm. Hey, I think you'll really like the Like a Void edition, because that's fucking beat down to hell.
That busts this deck wide open. Like, yeah, okay, that's the one thing. I don't know if that's been super apparent based off the way I've been glazing this list. the Like a Void stuff is scary, can and will hurt you. It does make Thera Heart better. It just inherently big buff to Lunar. Rest of the format stuff, I don't know. Maybe it's splashed in, maybe it doesn't. But I am at the immediate moment excited to play more N-Titan, play more Lunar, do all that jazz. I don't know. It should be fun.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that when I bring this tonight, I will enjoy it, because I kind of need this to land for me, or I probably will just take a break again.
Yeah. The thing about it is that the Like a Void stuff should. I'm trying to also think about the other stuff that could come up that seems very like Solar is probably one of them. Again, I agree. Wingen's a problem. The rest of Solar, I think, is kind of fine. Solar Burst is strong. Nova Core big, but it's like Solar. I don't think if you take away Nova Core, what is Solar really doing? Other than Wingen, so it's like those two I think are strong and maybe can be evaluated.
Blowing up my fucking board, dude. That's what they're doing. They're going Solar Burst into Nova Core and then hitting me for 3.
Yeah, it's still goofy.
I'm blown away that Solar Burst dodged this list, because I think that card is so heavily problematic. It's really surprising that it did not at least go to like 1 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the Solar Burst is. I am also very curious. Like, maybe Kevin had some points on this one too. I know Kevin also felt similarly about Solar Burst. It's maybe because Race the Top came back, there was some sort of like idea that elemental specific removal, like Cryoblast, is fine, because we're all starting to see less like splashability in decks. So Solar Burst being exclusive to Solar is good. But then again, also Earthquake could come back to 2 or 3. I don't know.
I would like to see Earthquake back to 3. I think that should have been the buff for Earth, not Equilinx. Because I think Equilink's existence, it's crazy, because Solar, I think, will end up being, will have even less play, because you have to make a decision of, are you going to pray so goddamn hard that you don't hit Earth during a tournament run? Because if you don't, you auto-win. If you hit Earth, you auto-lose. Like, that is the decision you're going to have to make if you decide to queue up Solar. And I think that sucks a lot. You have to make that decision to like, is it worth it to play this deck? Because it is very strong. Like, I'm surprised to see so little play and conversion of it, because 3 premieres ago it got 2nd place, and I think it's gotten like top 4 just about every premiere up until 3 premieres ago.
Oh, Solar?
Yeah. Like, nothing's changed for it. I don't think anything meaningful has changed in the metagame.
Solar has not been converting.
That's what I'm saying. It's been 3 premieres, but on the one on the 25th, it got 2nd place.
Oh, yeah. So the immediate post rise hit. Yeah, I think so that to I guess reason why Solar is really easy to tech against. It loses to a lot of the same things, even harder to some of the other decks. It doesn't have its immediate like big win condition. And I do think on some level, like based off of what I saw from that list that did get 2nd place, I do think that there was a combination of player and also just seeing like the general control style thing. Like Solar, when it sticks a guy and can continue to accrue value, is really strong. But almost every time that I've seen it in recent history, or the players that have been playing it, it's just a question of, do my foretells hit, and can I stick my advantage gainers? And I have not seen players be able to do that. And I think that's the big difference. Like when Wingen hits, I think you win exponentially. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That card's broken. Yeah. But I think every other card is just so much more risky now that you can't just like play slow, go Solar Burst, send Celestial, and be like, all right, I'll draw my Rise. Like, there's no what was the win con? As part of the inspiration behind like the Solar Sevens deck that we put PK and Law and everyone on, is like it doesn't lose to the tech choices against the Lion Solar. And it's still bad. It's still frustrating. Don't get me wrong. Nova Core's still big. Draco Ray's still big. Everything's still big. But it's just Solar as it was, just I don't think was performing. It's just
I
wasn't
don't know.
as good.
I'm looking through. I think a piece of it is top players swapping off of the deck.
That too.
Because I think it is a big skill thing as well. Like it is a hard deck to pilot.
Yeah.
To your
It
point.
is, for sure.
And I think the last player that I know, like I'm looking through all the tournaments, the last player that I can see that played Solar, that I know is like a top player that has the competency on that list is let's see, I think it's Cobalt. Got a top 16, got 10th. So he had a top 8 record, just didn't have the breakers on Solar on the 15th. And I think he's been off of the deck since.
Yeah.
Or just not playing.
Yeah, I think to that point too, I think that's the thing with the top player decision is that the other decks provide the same amount of results and in some ways like better results without the extra pressure, the extra work to put into it. And so I think on that level that also is a part of the Solar meta shenanigans is that while it can be very good, like why play Solar when I can just play Locagon or play another deck that's just gonna be an easier time to play.
Yeah, it's got a lower floor but a little bit lower ceiling, but it's
Right.
like relatively not that different.
Yeah, exactly. Like Solar
That
doesn't
makes
give,
sense, yeah.
and that's I think part of it too is that there are tools in Solar that are really strong, but they aren't that much stronger than some of the other cards, except for Winjin. Again, Tornage and Winjin.
Yeah.
Every time this card resolves, it's like, oh wow, I'm so up.
Yep. That ridiculous card.
It's so good. It is crazy good. But like other than the Nova Core stuff and maybe in again the Sevens stuff, which is a little bit experimental, what was Solar doing before? Even if you take away Winjin, it's back to Heliolith maybe. That's not good enough for now.
I don't think that you go to Heliolith.
Like what's that? You go to horses? Like I don't know. Like
I mean, I think one thing that people haven't considered is that Chronodile is still, especially with Solar going out of the format, Chronodile is very up. That is one of the strongest things that you can be doing currently, and no one's playing it because of Solar. But if Solar's out of the format, this is fucking auto win city.
Yeah, Chronodile's scary. Chronodile's scary, but Chronodile committal, I think, on some level, and that's maybe the part that I think is kind of rough.
Well, you're committing, but you're committing to something that can't lose. Right?
Yeah. That's the risk reward I think is a little goofy with this card.
Yeah.
Because very good for
as
sure.
As long as your opponent doesn't have Gorgon's Gaze for your Nomodial, you auto win the game.
Yeah, and even then, it's like the list that Dooms is running was very resilient to a lot of its stuff.
Yeah, and I think that Dooms was missing because the last time, from what I don't know if they've played it more recently, but the last time I remember them playing that list, them playing Chronodile, it did not have a lot of the additional stuff in Livestream because Australian moment. So I think that deck gets even better. Like I had a list that I put together and was playing at locals at the start of the format, and there's a buddy of mine who has been playing it since apparently, and I'll be at locals and just hear him feel like malding because he lands Chronodile turn 1 like just about every game. The issue is that he hasn't played Elestrals as much. He's a phenomenal card game player broadly, but Elestrals is not his main game, and so when he pops in and plays, he makes misplays a lot more frequently, and so I think that if he had more experience with the game, he'd just auto win locals every time because that deck is fucking disgusting.
I guess with the with Tadpuff limit, like, is it realistic to still go Chronodile Turbo? Like, if you play the fish still, you're playing like Locagon like stuff to still get it.
playing Lock-On, you're playing Foamy.
Yeah, like the Foamy Champ or old school Foamy is what you're saying.
Foamy Champ.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
search Nomadial.
Search
off of
Nomadial.
it. And then Chautauqua also searches any piece that you need.
Yeah, I think that's in a weird way, like the Chautauqua Champ, the that one,
Yeah.
because it searches the aquatic is
Searches any aquatic on Nexus.
so it gets the Tad Puff.
It's Nomadial.
Oh, it searches Nomadial too.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the entire Nomadial, Chronodial are both aquatic, so you can get either of them depending on the board state.
What did I miss it?
Chronodial and Nomadial, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, it also gets Babloon.
Babloon, true.
Yeah, that's fair. Babloon, I think, is low key powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I am curious to know what modern Chronodial can do realistically. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but it is strong. Like if you stick the Chronodial dish big.
Yeah, and in chat, Chronodial can slot into Aphrodite. It's something that Julian was doing for a little while on the side.
Yeah.
It was less serious. It was an idea that he and I had driving back from Kissimmee. You can blind between the two, because if you're playing versus Solar, so the question is if you main it or not. If you main it, oh yeah, that's right. Shirt also is doing it. You can main Chronodial, auto win game 1. They then side to deal with it, and then you play Lockagon, or you can do the flip where you auto win with Lockagon. They're expecting that, and then you side out. They play all the spoiled fruits and stuff like that, and then you play Chronodial instead.
Yeah, this is really funny to think about. I'm like, I'm trying to think of, you know, you go Chautauqua turn 1, you search your pieces you need, and given the board state or whatever your opponent does or doesn't do, is the hard ascend Nomadial on the next turn safe? Probably not. And then
Tends to be.
I think
like the only thing you lose to is Gorgon's Gaze, right? And it's a 5/6.
Yeah, like it's Gorgons. These, I guess, hold the Gorgons, and if you Chronodial sticks, it's fine.
No, it's if they have Gorgons, right? They have to Gorgons it, and then you just need to keep it alive until the next turn, and then you win.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, is the investment of, or how often does that happen that you're protecting not only your turn 1, but also getting to Chronodial? How often does that actually happen?
Very frequently.
Yeah, like, well, you're running 3 Nomadial, 2 to 3 Chronodial. Or, like, am I missing that?
You just do 1 and 1. You just do 1 and 1.
1 and 1, searchable. You're playing the 1 Tad Puff.
Yeah, you play triple Tad Puff because it searches.
You in the new ban list, I guess I should say.
Foamy, I mean, not Tad Puff.
Oh yeah. Triple Foamy. I imagine
Foamy.
we're playing the Aphrodite, the Afro stuff. Probably playing Babloon. Triple lot or triple the Julian special. Triple Afro, triple U. I don't know about this one yet. Then the Magneroge sort, going for our pieces. We got 3U.
You also play 1 or 2 of OG Aphoros.
Oh, right, as the Nexuser, and also the water.
Yeah, actually, honestly, and this is something that when I built this list wasn't theory, but you probably play triple chains as well, because that just guarantees the Nomadial Ascend wins.
Yeah, and I do like that too.
If you open like chains, Foamy, and then any other back row, you auto win. I think. Like, this deck looks disgusting.
Honestly, you know, it's crazy because I still, this is maybe the Solar issue, is that this just looks so much less safe than Lockagon. Like, it's when it does occur, terrifying, and very much you win. But I'm also like, this is a lot of stuff just to go, just to be like, I can go lock and win the same way. Maybe that's what it is, more or less, than actually like the issue, because this is, again, Chronodial is very strong. But it's that lock still just does this, but better.
Well, Locke is not an untargetable asshole that wins you the game on the spot.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you still have to fight for that. Chronodile reads, "I will sit this in defense position until you deck out."
Yeah, that's no Ambro. No, I don't know if you need Ambro in a deck like this anymore.
A balloon is Ambro functionally.
Yeah, because even outside of Babloon,
You do need Ambro in Lockagon. You don't need it in Chronodile.
yeah, because you're in a lot of game plan decks have just moved away from it. You don't, because if you get the game plan, you win is the idea. So why do you want to spend a turn with Ambro, unless you need to manipulate spirits on some level, which this deck doesn't need to do.
And so the point of what about Dense Fog? You play a Lunar in the Spirit deck, so you can ascend this with a Lunar when you do it, and still have 6 on board.
Yeah, it's yeah. There's the ways around it. I frequency I think is the question for me, which is probably more often than I'm anticipating because I just don't see Chronodile enough.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a good thing because this deck I hate Chronodile. It's I think that this was one of the cards on my wish list for banning. And this is kind of the frustrating thing about, to circle back to the idea that they're only hitting things based off of results. I understand that mentality, but also like I said, there's a guy at my locals that I showed him this list and he's been playing it ever since, and people really do not like playing versus him as a result. And that he used to just play like a funny solar deck. He wasn't even playing the strong solar. He was playing solar before it was good. But now he's on Chronodile, and I was at locals Monday playing Riftbound, and I heard one of my friends, who I've never heard get angry playing a card game ever, get very upset at him because he turned 1 Chronodile 2 games in a row, and she was on Lockagon. There's nothing she can do.
Yeah, this is But also did Trident. Yeah, that's the other consideration.
Trident Lock is disgusting.
Trident Rock is a little bit goofy. Yeah, I don't know. This is Let's build the spirits for this one real quick. I think spirit wise is not that hard. You just do this.
Yeah, you play like 2 Thunder, 4 Fire, a Lunar, and then you're good, right?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, we need solar too. What am I doing?
We need solar. You need 2 solar. 3 solar?
Maybe 3. Yeah, why not 3?
You need a Lunar.
Yeah, for the Dense Fog. And then side deck Dense Fog. This might be too little water at this point. I think you only need change once.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that.
Yeah, because you're just saving this for Nomadial, or if you can't protect the Chronodile, which is fine.
There's definitely a board state where like you could get a Chronodile out and just lose to PTA and then Nexus to it, and that probably or like you need to Balloon. No, you probably have it on hand already. I don't know exactly what the board state is, but
yeah. I don't know. It's funny because my brain looks at this list and I'm like, ooh, Chronodile. That's probably my bad brainworms. I'm like, oh no.
I'm saying that was me for a long time, and then I don't know.
My brain hates this list. Yeah. This is skill you play Kiribis, also fair. Yeah, this is. I'll put this in the back. We'll go Dilo. I kind of want to play this list a little bit eventually. Yeah, this is a little bit spooky.
But it's one of those hard things where like I'd love to. Well, at one point in time, I wanted to test this deck out a lot, but I don't want to make my friends sit through getting Chronodiled because like it's evil. And I think this is the same as a lot of other decks in the format for me right now. It's like I would want to try and lab things, but the best things to be doing are evil. And so why would I sit my friends through me trying to do evil shit to them?
Yeah, I guess it's also the Like Void and Farrageist shenanigans, because of, again, initial thoughts on just doing all of that is I do think Lunar gets very scary. The auto inclusion is 3 pup. You're 1 like a void. You might even play 2, because you can. 2 of these you're playing dense fogs. You can. Maybe 1 lunar phase and 3 rise, and this is your lunar core. And it's also, oh god, that's terrifying. You know what's actually really neat? Maybe you play the old Werepup too, because like a void gets outed, you go rise, you bring it back, and you can then cast again.
Oh yeah, to like rise it and then play the new Werepup.
Yeah, like new Werepup also has utility with it. Ooh, wait a minute, we're cooking.
I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to warrant actually doing. I think
the
this
double
is
special.
better as an engine, right? Or like, I wouldn't focus on the like a void as the payoff, which is kind of what new Werepup necessitates.
Yeah. This definitely is like the splash is way more important. Even if you're not playing Rise, just like you cut Rise and you're probably already playing Dense Fog, you play the small package with 7 spirits.
Yeah,
and you're
I do kind of fuck with playing just a 1-of so that you have the max 5 damage in 1 turn and you can be maximum evil.
Yeah, it's well, and this makes Draking good again. This makes
oh my god,
like Draking crazy.
Draking's fucking insane now with Foamy. Good
yeah,
lord.
you can search it. You go nuts. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, no, Draking's real again.
That was a thought that I had. I'm gonna. Oh, I am having evil thoughts right now.
All right, we'll play the one Draking.
Oh my
go
god.
Foamy.
Yeah, I think we are building an identical list right now.
You go.
You definitely play the Aphros stuff, right? Just
yeah.
so you have crazy pressure at all times.
Where's Demagnet? Demagby. Champ.
Wait a minute.
We're all, Moose is real. Moose is also real now. Shoutouts to Moose. We'll put in our Counter-Rune Mirepoix. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is already looking insano mode.
Yeah.
Maybe shield if you're really wanting. And then we need like other Elestrals to fill out this void. So could be if you want to do old Foamy, you could. Probably not. You could do Spects.
Nah.
It's probably more Lunar Elestrals though. Moonbat? Sure, why not?
I don't know about that. Hold on.
That crazy. Nice citing that out.
What?
You know, if we're
I
just
feel like you could generally just play like Galaxy in this, like
yeah,
Galaxy.
Champ Galaxy or
Crazy
Cynectar Champ
meters
because we're suppression.
Yeah, I like Cynectar Champ. I'm one of those freaks. I love him.
Yeah, 5's good
That's
stuff
so
is
good.
now back. I don't even know if it necessarily
Nothing
need
ever changes.
the Draking per se. Like if you cut Draking Foamy Engine, this deck still looks terrifying. And then yeah, 2 Whale because you're 1 of removal for stuff. Your Galaxies. Yep. There we go. Winning list.
I really like the idea of playing Aphrodite in this too, so you can search out a second Draking.
Yeah, it also gets you the like better Aphros line. Let's see. I took that up to 1, this to 2.
That's what I'm currently trying to put together.
Is then we go a Aphrodite. Spirit wise though, like if we're not playing Rise, because Rise is probably fine. But spirit wise, we got to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 8, 8. Yeah, that works.
I have not cooked an Elestrals deck in so long. Good lord.
Yeah, this works. This is actually really funky.
Hey, this deck looks really cool.
Right? It's awesome. Man. Probably even less water and more lunar, just because you're doing the commit with the lunar phase. Stealing lock with Champ Dracking and then healing. I'm sane. And then doing it again and popping on the next turn. Yeah, this is very doable. I don't even know if you need dense fog, but
No, I cut it and just played 3 PTA 3 shield.
yeah, that's probably good enough.
It's another evil deck. Farrageist, obviously.
Yeah, lunar and Titan gets bonkers because it now has a secondary push that's even stronger, which was good before. And it makes your Aardvarma sense better. Oh, we're cooking.
That's the wrong Lake of Void. You can put Theraheart in here too.
Yeah, Theraheart's arguably like one of the best things to be playing because you can then search the Rise.
You put Cynectar in here too.
Yep.
Now to add runes. I love moon runes. This is one of the biggest decks that I put a lot of time into at the start of the format. And that was, I think, really when I started to hit some like disillusionment about the format, is putting a lot of effort into this deck that was really cool and really fun, and then just getting auto blown out by Solar or Lakagon. Lakagon actually, it was a pretty good matchup, but Solar was unwinnable and very unfun to play against.
Yeah. That's I think that's kind of the thing with like the small changes that I so far, again, I'm optimistic about, is that Hurricane being gone means that you can effectively play slower strategies. Same with Chariot. So that was big. And then now with these hits, I think it does address some of the cool stuff decks that get hit / can be a little bit less frustrating from like Locke's perspective. You can now manage Locke a lot better. It's still strong, but you can still manage. More Frost becomes less frustrating because it requires more commitment, which I think is good. Because even before, like a deck like this would just die to More Frost. Now it might, and probably still will, but in a much different way. Yeah. I'm having to say like Earth, man. I got a Earth build too. Fire gets stuff. Earth's probably really easy to build now, honestly. Let me save this. Like a Void Den. Trying to build Moose. Moose then good. Moose is probably very real now.
Shout out Werepup. Good lord.
Especially because maybe Comalis can come back with that. Probably.
Nasty.
Let's go.
Nasty,
Earth.
nasty.
3 Drataya, 3 Cynectar, 3 Cyprong. If we're going true lunar aggro with Earth, the Lego deck, Wasp Ivy's real. Again, that's always real. Now you just have a splash engine of 7 spirits if you can afford it with the Like a Void stuff, which is probably fine.
Don't forget new triple Equilinks.
Yeah, triple Equilinks. Crab could even be good here. We're gonna go Latagon though. So where did Latagon go? Do our Latagon. Gotta go Dio. Legogon. Triple Dio. Maybe the Stadium. Maybe Earthquake for sure. Madness, because you're playing the Madness. Tsunami. PTA. Gorgons. Maybe 2 shield. Maybe 2 shield. We're going for the Poison Tipped Arrow, just the one of. I feel like people sleep on this card. And that looks about right.
We agree.
That looks about right for
Yeah, this
Earth
shit looks
engine.
crazy.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Now to add in the 7-card side engine, or 6-card side engine.
Yeah,
Oh,
7.
I gotta write 7. 6, 7.
6, 7. Yeah, that's actually really. So
Where pup?
1, 2, 3.
Where pup?
Where are we at?
Lake of Void.
2, and then you might be able to do 1, 1 for a deck like this, and then
Yeah.
flex spot
Yeah.
of 1 card. Do we even play Latagon? The real answer is no. Like if you're building an Earth list, I think you don't do Latagon. You can, but I think instead you do. I still think Titan is the strongest Earth deck based off of everything. But if you're doing other other Earth stuff, you play blah 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 blah. What's the word? Earth deck. I think you play instead crabs. For sure. Because it just less investment for something that is just as consistent.
Yeah, I bet that Cobalt is loving that the crabs deck is about to be fucking disgusting with 3 Equilinks.
Yep, you play it's Earth 4s. All the best cards in Earth are 4s. You can play this if you want to, probably not, but like Tectaris is consideration. Because you're always next thing. Like if we were to build Earth 4s, I still think you play Werepup because the deck is still lacking on stuff. Actually, that's also one thing to consider is that you have better ascension lines for things like your Centarbers and your like Sprouters for that. You could splash in and make those Nexusers much stronger. Other than that, though, you go Giga.
Giga Gaga Gigo.
Giga Gigo, Giga Crab.
Giga Gaga Gigo.
Sort.
Love Giga Gigo.
Is Hopperu good anymore? Not with Werepup in the mix.
No.
Werepup is now your third. Yeah, this looks about right.
I'm building a fire artifact list with burn in it, and Lake of Void.
Yeah, I guess this is a really funny thing, especially if since we've been playing and played when Like a Void was just everywhere, is that Like a Void fits in so many decks. Except for like you can play it in lock, you can play it in stuff, but like you might just not want to. But I think it does add splashability in every other deck though, and that I think is the big impact to be seen. Honestly, is like Solar. I don't think wants to play this. Like you can, but yeah, if Like a Void's back or Pig's back, I was actually thinking that same thing. I'm like, I think that gives Wind something to do. Like it gave Wind an idea.
What is the spirit deck on this?
I think it's pretty good. Does Giga Flora let you special cast Champs Misenchants it? Yes. Yes, it does. Full Gorix line. Full Gorix goes crazy. You could definitely play Full Gorix, Wind, Pigs. Mind if I send you something? Absolutely. Go for it.
I have made an evil burn deck.
No. Yeah, let's
Yep, there it is. Yep. Sending this immediately to my buddy that plays burn and praying he doesn't bring it to locals tonight. I say as I add him in the Discord.
Hey, play this, don't play this. Solar gets crazy, Full Gorix goes nuts, Nabi, Champ. Or not Nabi Champ, Nabi and into your pup, you Like a Void. Sure, we'll play a Full Gorix, why not? Because we can. Triple U, 1U, double Artemis PTA, triple Rise. Oh, boop. Splash engine of the 3-cent nectar to search our 3 PTAs. 3 Gorgons. Oh, maybe 2 Tsunami. Yeah, this looks this looks about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Ultra Stars maybe.
Yeah, alter for our Fulgorix.
For Fulgorix and for Doppelgator, right?
Yep, for the hitting there. We could even go Comalis. I think that's still a little risky, but
I probably wouldn't do that. Asterisk Starfall?
oh,
You mean to put that in there?
this card's so goofy. I wish this card was good.
Yeah.
This card's silly.
It's in your list right now. I don't know if you. It's like it's in the deck.
Oh,
right
the
now.
one. Okay, I just misclicked for the altar.
Yeah,
I
that's
was like,
why I
what?
said it. Is you instead of altar, you put Asterisk Starfall in.
Well, now. One and Titan. We definitely don't need Fulgorix and Titan, but this is my brain is like plain Lunar, just plain Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm gonna try and build tonight or play for tonight.
I think Champ Specs. Oh, Toxiri. We're playing Toxiri, might as well do Dense Fog, so sorry, Alter. Going Dense Fog. Immediately calls to, like, if we're not playing Fulgorix, then cool. What was the other thing I was playing in the deck? Hopperoo. I don't think you play Hopperoo anymore. Or if you do, you play it over Nabi, but I don't think you need to play it anymore. Yeah, this looks about right still. You side into Hopper, maybe? Yeah. With the Plucky Champ, it says when you cast a Solar Rune, does it have to be properly enchanted? No, you can misenchant a Solar Rune and it still counts as casting it.
Yeah.
Specifically when a card says it has to be enchanted for it to effect to work, that's whenever you get into the has to be properly enchanted, like Mount Olympus for race or for what's it called, the Heliolith. Madness or Ambro? Probably Madness. Probably. We'd have to cut some teen for EQ. Oh yeah, EQ. It's like we need one. We need a one of for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. This looks solid. Literally much ado about everything.
Yeah, I think this is very close to what. Let me see. Where's my version that I tried making? Not that one. Yeah, this one. I'm playing Dionysus in mine because I put Equilinks in it.
Yeah, that's also. Oh yeah, it's true. That's maybe over Toxiri.
It's over Toxiri and Nabi because it's a 8-card engine pretty much.
Yeah, Nabi I go so back and forth on. I feel like it's so good into certain decks and then just so bad into others. Actually, I cited it anyways. Yeah.
I'm siding a 2-1. I probably side. I don't know if I'd side 3. I could cut a Dense Fog in the side.
Yeah, it's partially why I kind of liked when people were playing Cyprong. Cyprong and Titan for just more removal.
I love Cyprong. That's my goat. He should have been able to pop 3 drops.
That was so funny. We were obsessed with PK, and PK goes Cyprong, target and Titan, and I'm like, oh, PK, that'd be great. I'll let you take that playback. And he's like, why? I'm like, well.
The funny thing about this card. Here's a restriction it shouldn't have. Smile.
It is very, very funny. Walking Earthquake was still very strong. I almost think the better way to go would be Enraged instead of Dazed. I get the idea is that in Dazed is definitely more balanced, but in my mind, you're staring down 2 5 bodies. are two bodies that are larger than 5, like a Locagon, and you pop one, and then it kind of forces you to say, I'm risking the pop to destroy, like to swing. And then, alternatively, if you have Aphoros out, you kill both. That's great. But then it's like, you kind of still have the investment either way.
Yeah, I feel like it's when this set was being tested, I'm pretty sure it was like probably a big 5s format. So the idea was, if your opponent casts Neckruff and then you go Sight Prong, pop it, you shouldn't be able to also swing your opponent for 1.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense. I think the format's just faster than
yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
100%. Yep.
So that's the big one. Though Sight Prong, on some levels I think it's both fine and also kind of just like oof, maybe a little bit needs a little less restriction there. What was the Equilinx? Yeah, either this or Equilinx. It's probably fine. I think there are definitely 4 cards in this list.
Do both.
Yeah, I cut Toxiri.
You can put Toxiri and maybe also Dense Fog to the side.
Yeah. Where's Equilinx? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, Dense Fog for
triple
Madness.
Sight Prong, triple Equilinx. And then you're basically and that's almost identical to the list that I have together.
Yeah, I think there's a world we play Madness here.
Yeah, I'm on 2 Madness. I'm trying to find the differences in I have 2 Ambro on the list right now. I'm running only 1 Lunar Eclipse.
Oh, yeah, I find
3 Sight Prong.
Lunar Eclipse definitely probably could just be 1. I cited the other one for the Reminisce Rumble and for the case tournament or the Stellar tournament, and I felt like it was good. I didn't love it, but second one was like fine. It was more just to see the frequency of Werepup Lunar Phase, because that was busted.
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing those to locals tonight, and I hope that I will make everyone miserable with it.
I think it's gonna be very good. Again, I think Ardbud and Titan with the Lycovoid engine is the strongest variant of this.
Yeah.
Lunar Pure still going to be very strong, but the speed of N-Titan already was crazy. And so if you can just resolve Werepup, you are so far up than any of the Lunar variants. And this is on the old list. Like if you just take the old N-Titan list and just replace that with the new Lycovoid, you were chilling. But now you have Equilinx available. That's huge. Yeah, this is scary. Did we put the Chronodile list too? Yeah. Where'd Chronodile? Where is Dilo?
You saved that one somewhere.
There it is, yeah. Yep. Yeah, these 2 decks, I'll probably build these decks.
Hell yeah.
Testing them out for sure.
I'm glad to infect you with Chronodile brainworms.
I'm really curious because I think this is, for me, definitely a knowledge gap where I'm like, am I just missing something? And the answer is probably yes, because I just do not see Chronodile often. But yeah. I'm down to be converted into the Chronodile hater.
So it's definitely a deck that like you can have hands that do fucking nothing. But that's why you're playing triple Babloon, because you mulligan and now Babloon's live to fucking turn 1 Nomadile.
Yeah, you get into your combo. There is no knowledge beyond Chronodile. True, that's true. So true. There is nothing but Chronodile.
If you somehow open the godlike hand of Tadpuff, Nomadile, Babloon after a mulligan, you just win the game. And with triple Nog, that makes it even more likely, because you can now do it turn 1 without having to have mulligan. You don't have to open up the Nomadile because you have Foamy in hand as well. Like there's a whole bunch of bullshit that this deck just gets to do, and you just get to play 5s because you have Magneros, Aphoros.
Yeah, and then there's Togwa has the same thing with Locagon, getting to the consistency. I kind of forgot these are also aquatics. The Nomadile.
Yeah, you can
aquatic.
search almost any card in the deck because of Dratagua and Foamy.
That's awesome. Is Magneros a golem?
It is a golem. Yep.
Why?
I don't know, man.
That's silly.
It They got a golem swimming in water around Aphrodite. What the fuck are we doing?
That's awesome. That's silly. Yeah. All right. So, anything final ban list wise? What you thinking? What you feeling?
Having actually deck built under it. Oh my god, this looks horrifying. I don't know how much I'm looking forward to playing under the new format, but I certainly am gonna try at the very least. We'll give it the good old college try.
Yeah. I'm afraid of some things. Kinleo I think is very scary. Like a Void, very scary, but I think might open up a lot more decks, so I'm curious more than I guess I am terrified. And I'm hoping the Tadpuff and Tadflow limits are also enough. What's the other one? Oh, Bat. Very happy about Bat. I think I have zero complaints about Bat.
I think it's probably the one objectively correct decision in the list that I agree with.
Yeah, it's something had to happen with Morfrost. I'm glad it was that. Again, Lycan maybe eventually should as well. Just when we get more Morfrost, it'll probably have to happen. But I don't know. Maybe that's fine.
Yeah, double Rhoda kind of strong.
Yeah. Well, and two, my big argument with it right now is that if we were forcing players to go into Keon, then like why not limit Lycan? Because Lycan, that's the same thing. Like you also force your opponent, the player to say, I'm either going to add back Lycan or Bat, and not just Bat effectively. Which maybe it's too much. I don't know, but I'm with it. But yeah. All right. Well, thanks for yapping with me for a couple hours. Is Kevin live? I'm assuming, or he went to go do something.
He probably had to go play Genesis format or something.
So true. All right. Well, let me know how locals goes. Let me know if it is bad or good. I'm curious.
I'm horrified.
Yeah. Very well.
I'm very scared. Mom, pick me up. I'm scared.
No. But all right. I'll hop off. I'm gonna close stream and go nuts.
Goodbye, chat. Goodbye, Swole.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you later. Bye. All right, y'all. You know what? I think this was pretty neat. Couple hours of yapping. Couple hours of shenanigans. There is a lot to be said about this ban list. There's a lot to be said about the things behind it. Honestly, I feel like pretty good discussion overall. I think it's not a secret that I have varying opinions on this, but I think at the same time, what I'm hoping from this list and what I'm hoping that most people take away from this list, from me personally, is that there's stuff to do and stuff to experiment with, things to build, things to try, things to test. And we just keep on going from there. Keep cooking and hop on. And it feels like out of those two tenets, we're doing both with this list exclusively. So I can understand frustrations. I can understand the ideas behind this ban list and things that happen. But at the same time, sad that solar is a little bit scary. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the third premiere is what we get for the new year, and I'm curious to see what everyone brings and builds, and hopefully we get some cool stuff. But no, that's me. Thank you all so much for watching, for being here with me after a couple hours of ditching and being hooky from work. If you haven't already, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all the good stuff for the algorithm. Follow us on Twitter at Elestrals. Follow me on Twitter at Swolax. Follow Caleb on Twitter at Caleb.exe. Follow Kevin on Twitter at DiscEncoder if you didn't know already. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think of the ban list. I'd love to hear, and I cannot wait to hop on with the rest of y'all. 1, 2, get something to eat if you haven't already. I'll probably go get some food myself and go from there. If it's morning, evening, afternoon, late night for you, wherever it is in the world you are watching this, thank you so much for joining me and joining us on the Elestrals channel. More shenanigans here in the future. Bears best stack. It always has been. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everyone. Bye-bye. See ya.